And welcome back inside the Qplex. It's the championship game here at the 2022 U15 Major AAA Hockey Championships. Jeff Robichaud along with Derek Cooling. And we're all set for the Battle of New Brunswick here, Derek. The two teams going head-to-head. The Dieppe Flyers, the provincial champs, and the Kennebecasis Valley Kings, the host team of the tournament. A bit of an underdog story here. You know, a lot of people are really surprised to see the Kings make it into the final.
Yeah, you could argue that, Jeff, for sure. This Flyers hockey club was at the head of the U15 AAA League for most of the season. They had a bit of a slump around January and February, but then found themselves again in the provincial final. Obviously made it here to get to this contest and won the provincial final in Moncton earlier in the month of March. But yeah, the Kings are a hockey club. It was about a 500 hockey club most of the season. They started to figure things out in the playoffs a little bit, but really needed this tournament, and they prepared for it for about a month after our playoffs ended. But they found their stride. Their offense is kicking on all cylinders. They've given up a bunch of goals in this tournament, so they'll need to tighten things up in this hockey contest against Dieppe. And it was a real close hockey game when the two teams played earlier in this tournament. Yeah, it was a 3-2 Flyers win earlier on in the tournament, and both teams finishing with identical records with 7 points. But due to the fact the Flyers came out with the win during the round-robin play, they end up being the home team, and that could possibly be a little bit of a factor here so that the Flyers can match up lines a little bit better against the Kings. Yeah, you can, and it'll help more maybe in the third period when, Dieppe knows whether they're ahead or behind, whether they shorten or tighten up the benches for sure. But yeah, you always like to have the extra change. A lot of times it's less at this level about matching up forward lines, but sometimes you want a specific defensive pairing out against another team's forward pairing. The Flyers will have Weber out there. The Kings will want a certain pairing out against him. Chase Kerr has been on fire in this hockey tournament for the Kings, and Dieppe will want certain players out there against him as well. How big of a factor is goaltending going to be in this game here this afternoon? It looks like it's going to be Simon Cormier going up against Gregory Gentleman. There's been some times where Gentleman looked a little weak on some occasions. Others he stood on his head. And Simon Cormier, as I mentioned and alluded to at the beginning of the tournament, after about the second game, it looks like he's got that Carey Price type demeanor where he's just he keeps his movements to a bare minimum in net. And it seems to work out very well for him. Yeah, he's a very good goaltender, and he's very calm in the net, like you say. He's been their guy for most of the season. They've been back and forth, but Cormier is the guy at that 2007 level that they would want in the net for the Flyers. With regard to the Kings on the other end, Gentleman's the number one guy. He's been their number one guy all year. He's played all but one game in this tournament, and they're going to live and die with what goes on in the nets with Gentleman. Their defense has to be a little bit tighter. Last night in the third period, they shortened their bench on D to only play about 4D. We'll see if all six get ice time in this hockey game or whether they go to 4 a little bit earlier, and Gentleman needs to have a good game for sure. So what are going to be the keys for both these teams here this afternoon to have some success? We're just moments away from dropping the puck here. We're just getting ready for the national anthem. We're going to take a quick break when that starts. But very quickly, what are the keys for both these teams here this afternoon? Well, at the U15 level, I think it's a lot about controlling emotions, right? Making sure you don't get that additional penalty when the other team has taken one on you. So the extra roughing minor, those things can really come back to burn you a little bit. Or if you give up a couple, right? How do you bounce back if one of these two teams falls behind 3-1 or 4-2 or something like that? Do you get dejected and go the other way? I think it's important when the game is a 2-goal game. Does it get to a 3-goal game, or does it go back to a 1-goal game? And how that rolls out in this hockey game will be a test for both teams. We'll see how they fare. And so that being said, Derek and I are going to take a quick timeout. We're going to get back over into our broadcast position. We're going to get ready for the national anthem, and then we're going to drop the puck on the opening 20 minutes here of the championship game at the 2022 U15 Major Atlantic AAA Hockey Championships at the Qplex in Crispamsis.
And welcome back to the Q-Plex. Jeff Roba Show along with Derek Cooling here in Quispamsis, New Brunswick. It is the championship game of the 2022 U15 AAA Major Atlantic Hockey Championships here on AOTV. And really, there's not much more to say than what we talked about earlier. I mean, it's going to come down to who wants it more between these two clubs. The underdog Kings, kind of the underdog story of the tournament. Really, no one expected to see these guys here in the championship game. And for the Flyers, I think there was some expectation of them to be one of the top teams in the tournament. They got off to a bit of a slow start, and they battled hard to be able to get that first overall placing coming into today's game, and resulting in them being the home team. And again, we mentioned giving them last change, matching up lines during this game.
Yeah, you know, Jeff, it's a one-game final, right? These things can go either way in one-game finals. In a series, you know, I'd have the Flyers in a longer series, but it's a one-game final, and that's what you want if you're the host team, the Kings team. And like you say, the Flyers, they've been on the verge of being out of this tournament for almost a day and a half now. So given the fact that they're the home team in the final, what a bonus for them. They've been able to figure out how to get there. They are where they would have wanted to be, and they're here and able to try to go for gold here this afternoon.
And who would have thought that coming into today's game, that yesterday's game would have been that big of an impact? It could have possibly almost even knocked them out, depending on how things had played out with the rest of the games. As we're underway, 15 seconds gone, the puck down in Kings territory. Weber down there looking for it. Kicks it down into the corner for Bork. Puck will come loose. It'll be Adams playing up on the near side, but Danfoos pinching in and keeps it down low. Puck get Murphy in behind the goal. He can't do anything with it. Adams plays it up the near side, and the Kings trying to come out. There's turnover in the slot area, and there's a shot from Bork, and that's steered aside there by Gentleman. LeBlanc gets bodied on the far side. Barber will play it out into neutral ice. Collette plays it on to the near side for Danfoos. Up for Summers in over the line. Summers, wrist shot, that goes wide of the goal. Cooper on the far side. He can't get it out, but he'll leave it there for Brown, and he'll start out through the neutral zone for the Kings. He'll play it down into Moncton territory. Cormier will come out and play it around into the near corner. Summers will come down deep to pick it up. He'll leave it there for Pino, who will play it back behind the goal. Turnover by Sear. Puck comes towards the slot area, and that's picked up by the Flyers. Summers will start out now through the neutral zone. He'll play a little chip and chase with himself down into the corner. He'll go into the corner against Peltier. The Kings will wrap it around the near side. Sturgeon comes down in deep. Sturgeon trying to keep the play alive down low and unable to. The Kings will come out, and they'll get it out through the neutral zone. Vigneault steps up, and he knocks the puck off the stick of the attacking Kings forward. Puck will get fired down into Dieppe territory. There's Sear. Sear fans on his clearing attempt. Being pestered up there by Maddox Burns. Puck comes up onto the far wall. The Flyers will just play it off the glass and get it out in neutral ice, as it'll be knocked down there by Vale, and he'll play it back down into Flyers territory. 2 minutes gone here in the opening period, scoreless between the Flyers and the Kings in the championship game. Here's Dagg in over the line. Dagg puts it between his legs, trying to get around his man. And Barber comes back and bodies him. Puck still loose into the slot area. There's a shot right on. Gentleman, the save. Rebound is controlled there by DeVoe. DeVoe to the side of the goal. Saunier right through the blue paint. Collette going to pinch in from the point. He'll get it down low. Kings wrap it around the wall, and it'll be kept in there at the far side by the Flyers. Puck bouncing around as the Flyers will clear back to the near point. Vigneault having a hard time keeping it in. It'll come out into neutral ice. Flyers will spin and fire it right back in on goal, and so the Flyers will make wholesale changes. Kings as well, changing up the forward line. Here's Murphy on the near side. Murphy up for Clark. Clark, one-touch pass. In over the line now. Here's Ouellette. Ouellette got a man going to the net. Tried to get there. There they do. They score! Liam Kilpatrick off the bench. Streaking to the net. The puck goes right onto his stick. Finds the back of the goal. And the Kings have themselves a 1-0 lead. 2 minutes, 48 seconds into the first.
Well, the Kings were hemmed in their own end. That's their first shot of this hockey contest, and it's not the first shot you want when you're Simon Cormier in net. You don't want to face a cross-crease 2-on-1 pass, and that's what exactly he had to face. Kirkpatrick made a nice play, but it was a lovely play by Clark here, right at the blue line. Put it up ice. That was able to generate that 2-on-1.
And there's a glove pass. Face-off will come outside the Flyers' goal, so just like that, the host team and the home team, really, if you think about it, home ice advantage being here at the Q-Plex. This is where they play out of during the regular season. certainly playing into their favor early on.
A textbook start, right? You don't want to give up the first 3 shots of the game, but if you're going to only get one, you might as well have it be a scoring chance like they got, and they put it home. That'll settle them down, too.
Of course, the Flyers are in no strange position themselves either. They've played from behind quite a bit this tournament, and they've managed to find their way to battle back all the way through all weekend long. As it's down in the corner, Cooper plays it off the back of the goal. He'll play it for himself, plays it there for Ouellette. Ouellette out into the slot area, and that's broken up. The Flyers will clear it out into neutral ice, and it'll be Head dumping it back into Flyers territory. Benjamin Damphousse back to get it. He'll play it off the wall for his defense partner, Collette, in behind the goal. Collette gets bodied, but Pino will come down and pick up the puck, and he'll start out. Pino overskates the puck and turns it over. Burns playing it out in front of the goal in the slot now. There's a shot from Kerr. He couldn't get much on it, and that gets blocked, and the Flyers will come back the other way. Pino, he'll just play a little chip and chase. The Flyers will change up the lines here. 4 minutes gone now. 1-0 Kings leading the Flyers. Long lead pass goes all the way down the ice. It's not going to be an icing call. It'll be Cormier leaving it there for Vigneault. He'll play it into the corner for Sturgeon. Sturgeon hits the brakes. He'll come back out onto the near side, plays it up the wall. Daigle can't knock it down, kept in there at the line by Adams. Cooper chasing it down in the corner against Vigneault. Cooper plays it back to the point. Murphy plays it back along the wall. Green walking out towards the front of the goal. Green with a shot. Rebound is swatted away. As the Flyers will play it all the way down the ice, it goes off the stick of Adams. Gentleman plays it up for Vale in the neutral zone. Barber turns it over in the neutral zone. The Flyers trying to mount the attack, but Adams knocks it off the stick of LeBlanc. He'll dump it down into Flyers territory. Puck comes on around onto the near side. Bork will just chip it off the wall. Takes a bounce towards the middle of the ice, and Weber was up there looking for it. Murphy now, he'll play it up into neutral ice. Sear plays it onto the far side for McClement. McClement gets hit hard in front of the Flyers bench. Here's a 2-on-1 now shaping up. Kings are in, pass towards the front of the goal, and there's a shot that just sails wide of the far post. Weber trying to get it out. The Kings doing every small little thing right here in the early stages of this period. Here's Head now for the Kings, in over the line. Head, wrist shot right on, and Simon Cormier, sensing a little bit of an urgency on the part of the Flyers, will grab onto it and hang on.
Yeah, you touched on the fact that Cormier is very calm in his net, and a really smart play, and whether he would have done it otherwise or not, who knows, but just to know to hang on to that puck. My team's playing on their heels a little bit. We're going to slow this down and get ourselves a whistle. Well done.
Off the draw, there's a high shot off the stick of Culligan, sails high and wide. Damphousse bodies his man on the far side. Flyers now will skate out through the neutral zone. Here's Pino in over the line. Pino gets around one man, throws it towards the front of the net, and that was broken up. There's 5 Kings down below the hash marks, and really that's the type of defense the Kings are going to have to play here. Opportunity now for Maxwell. Down in behind the goal. Maxwell out through the blue paint, broken up. Maxwell gets it back to the point. Collette, his wrist shot goes off his stick, and it'll float into the glove of Gregory Gentleman, who will grab onto it and hang on. And as I alluded to, the Flyers are such a strong team down low that the Kings have to collapse down low and really just kind of bank on letting the shots come in from the point, because otherwise the skill of the forwards of the Flyers down low could cause some damage here. Damphousse unable to keep it in at the line. Kerr, he'll play it to the middle. There's 3 Kings away. Ouellette, far side, back, and there's a shot. They score! Anders Barber gets the return pass, and the Kings have taken themselves a 2-0 lead. 6:10 into the first.
You know, if you're Coach Alex Arnsworthy of this Flyers team, at least somewhere in the back of your head, you have to wonder whether a timeout is appropriate here or not. I know you might need it later, and it's probably not going to happen, but, you know, you got the home crowd here yelling, screaming beside us. I'm sure you could hear them, and your team's falling down 2-0. It's the exact opposite of the start that these two teams had when they played each other. Dieppe got up to a 2-0 lead early in the first period of the other game, and then the game settled down a little bit, and the Kings had a big third period rally to get back into it. On the opposite side, there's been 3 shots on goaltender Cormier, and 2 have gone in.
And both of them have been on, both goals have been scored on odd man rushes as well. So really you can't blame Simon Cormier on either one of these goals. And the other positive thing for the Flyers is that there is lots of time left in this game. Here's Vigneault. He loses control of the puck. Puck bouncing around in the slot area. Here's A shot from Weber that sails high and wide. LeBlanc bodies his man. The puck will go into the corner. The Kings will wrap it around onto the near side. There's a long lead pass as there's too many men on the ice, and the whistle will blow, and they are going to call it here as Pino plays the puck coming off the bench. And so it'll be the Kings' first power play of the afternoon, and it seems like the Flyers, are a little off kilter here to start this game.
Well, they got out to that 3-0 shot league, and all the action was to our broadcast right. Our point of view here at the Qplex is in fact that, and now the Kings have a wonderful opportunity to be able to go up 3-0 here with a power play advantage, and then you start wondering about just defending enough. But this is probably, we did the bronze medal game for those that were with us, and we knew that one was going to be tight. This one's probably going to be a bit of a barn burner, folks, and the Kings are off to a good start in it.
Again, the Kings with a 2-0 lead on the power play now. The Flyers with a too many men on the ice penalty. Culligan plays it onto the near side. Here's Kerr in the neutral zone. Kerr in over the line. He'll hit the brakes over on the far circle. He'll play it back to the point. Culligan back for Kerr. Kerr trying to get the shot through. That gets blocked by Collette. Stung him a little slow to get back up. Pino aggressive on Kerr over on the far side. Puck along the wall. It'll be Cooper trying to play it back to the wall. He'll actually play it out. Here's a potential 2-on-1 shaping up, but then the Kings are able to get back. Barber in the neutral zone. He'll play it there for Adams jumping up in the rush. Adams is in over the line, trying to go around the player. Damn Foose. He did get around, but he lost control of the puck. Here's Adams now at the left point. His shot goes off a leg and comes into the corner. Weber plays the puck high off the glass, and it'll bounce down into Kings territory with 45 seconds to go here in the first, into the power play for the Kings. A 2-0 Kings lead with 11:45 to go here in the first. As the Kings will start out of their own zone, here's a pass up the left side for Green. Green will just chip it into the zone. Cooper chasing it down towards the front of the goal, and it'll go over onto the far side. Weber battling with his man, trying to get it out. Puck will go down below the goal line. Sear will pick it up. Sear had his stick get caught along the dasher there, down along the lower part of the wall, and he wasn't able to clear it out. Puck just down along the boards down there in the corner, right at where the red mark for the goal line is in the corner. Puck is loose now. Summers is about ready to come back out on the ice. Play right into the slot area. Backhand shot from Ouellette doesn't get through, and the Flyers come away. There's a long lead pass for Summers. Summers is in on the breakaway, and he's denied by Gentleman. That almost looked like it was a set play coming out of the penalty box. Puck bouncing around in Kings territory. Here's Cooper. He'll play it into the corner for Murphy. Murphy turns it over. Dag in once more. Shot that one wide. Flyers now on the attack. Got themselves a little bit of momentum here after killing off that penalty. Dan Foose bodies Cooper. That allows Collette to pick up the puck. He'll play it around the far side. Here's Dag now up the right side through the neutral zone. He'll dump it down into KV territory. DeVoe there trying to come up with the loose puck. It comes loose. Picked up there by Daigle. Leaves it for DeVoe. Back behind the goal for Cowett. Cowett now circling out of the corner. He lost it. Adams will play it up the far side. Pino looking for the loose puck, but it's picked up there by Price. Price will start through the neutral zone in over the Flyers line and gets hit there by the defenseman McClement. McClement plays it for Sear. Up for Cowett, one-touch pass now through the neutral zone. Here comes Pino. Pino lost it just before he got in over the blue line and put himself offside. 9:40 to go here in the first period. 2-0 Kings lead, and it looks like the Flyers have got themselves a little momentum back coming their way after killing off that man advantage for the Kings.
Yeah, when the two teams played earlier in this tournament, the Flyers had 2/3 of the shots in the hockey game. I'd expect some of that to continue here once the Flyers settle themselves a little bit. The pace here is better than what we saw in the bronze medal game. It's more back and forth. There's a lot more flow to it. That's why I think this is going to end up being a 7-5, 6-4, kind of 5-3 maybe at the least hockey game. But gentlemen's look very good so far. We talked about that at the outset. And yes, Cormier's had some difficult chances in front of him. He hasn't got to shine yet, but gentlemen's been tested a couple times.
Here's Summers now working his way. He has the puck knocked off his stick there by Kilpatrick. Flyers playing it back behind the goal. Summers trying to play it out in front. That was broken up. Here's Vigneault over to the far point for Sturgeon. His wrist shot gets blocked. Sturgeon with another shot towards the goal. Goes off a couple of legs, rolls towards the side of the goal, cleared away. Sturgeon plays it down low. Flyers now on the attack. Fired from a bad angle, and as Gentleman was hugging the post, he knocked it off, and that'll result in a stoppage in play. And really the key to this now, the rest of this game, is how well that the Flyers can bear down defensively, using those big workhorses that they have in Danfoos and Sturgeon. And they're going to see a lot of ice time, I say, here this afternoon.
Yeah, Danfoos and Collette as well. Danfoos and Collette see the most ice time on this hockey club. It was the Danfoos pinch that caused one of the odd man rushes, if you will, but they're going to see a ton of ice time. They'll live and die with those horses, as you say. And then on the other pairing, you got Sturgeon out there on that left-hand side that's trying to be a lockdown guy as well. But they do generate a lot of offense from their D.
Here's Weber now in over the line. Weber at the top of the circle sends it towards the goal. Gentleman will steer it over into the corner. Collette trying to pinch down. And it goes topped out, and here back the other way now come the Kings. 2-on-2. Danfoos keeps Kerr to the outside. Collette comes all the way back. He bodies Kerr in behind the goal. It'll be Ouellette gets bodied in the corner. Excuse me, that was Barber. Puck goes around onto the far side. Weber, he'll just chop it off the wall, and he'll get it out down the ice. And this will go down for an icing call with 8:23 to go here in the first period. And there's not a lot of reluctance here from either one of these teams to ice the puck and get some whistles here when they sense the pressure is too heavy for them in their own zone. And a lot of times you hate to see coaches give up defensive zone faceoffs.
If you have confidence in your centers, and I see KV more than I do Dieppe, but Chase Kerr's a name you'll hear a bunch of this afternoon, and he's exceptional in the faceoff dot.
As there's a shot right on from the point, Cormier steers that one into the corner. They try to get the puck out in front of the goal. That was Burns fanning on his pass. It'll go over to the far corner. Sear chops it up the wall, and the Flyers will get it out into neutral ice, but then the Kings will dump it right back into Dieppe territory. Here's McClement. Far side for Sear. Sear tried to play it up the wall, and the forward was too high up along the wall, and that allows the Kings to keep it in. There's a shot from Burns right on, and Cormier with the save. Puck gets wrapped around the wall. Kept in at the line there by Green. Coming down low is DeVoe. He fires it up off the glass, and actually the puck gets knocked out of the air with a high stick, and that'll result in a face-off coming out in the neutral zone with 7:38 to go.
Just finished talking about the top four pairings for this Flyers hockey club, and you see that third pairing that was out there. Sear with a puck in the corner. No traffic around him, but because he wasn't able to get a head check, he didn't know that there was no one around him. Instead, he tips it around, and the Kings keep it in. If he grabs that puck on his stick and starts to skate with it, the Flyers get out of their own end.
Adams will play it just inside the Flyers line. Here's Sturgeon. Plays it for Vigneault. Vigneault hits the brakes, and he'll start out. He'll play it up the right side for Pino. Pino in over the line. Pino gets around Adams, controls. Pino trying to work his way towards the front of the goal. Maxwell will pick it up. Maxwell plays it behind the goal for Cowett. Back into the corner for Maxwell. Maxwell plays it off the glass, and it'll come down in behind the goal. Pino looking for it, but it'll be Vale picking it up on the near side. Vigneault trying to get it shot towards the goal. He hit Maxwell with it, and Maxwell will spin and fire it down deep. Sturgeon at the far left point. He'll send her a shot in, blockered away. Puck comes off the end wall, and it'll be Gentleman grabbing onto it and hanging on. It seems like that far right post at the Zamboni end of the ice is having a hard time staying in position there. The referee was standing right there to keep an eye on it to see if it would come off any further.
And if you're at yourself as a goaltender, you're going to be able to take advantage of that, right? You know it's a little bit loose, so you know that if you go hard to that post, that you're going to be able to knock it off, and obviously it's going to result in a whistle.
There's a shot from Collette, jumps up into the air, knocked down by the Kings. They'll get it out into neutral ice. Kilpatrick around Collette, pushed it too far for himself. It goes down behind the Flyers' goal. Puck comes into the crease area, and the Flyers are able to control. Summers over for Weber down the left wing. Weber gets a step on Peltier. Weber hits the brakes. Back to the point now. McClement. Near point, Danfoos winds, fires, right on the save by Gentleman. And the puck's still loose. Everyone thought that the puck was smothered there, and the Kings will fire it all the way down the ice. And this will go down for an icing call. So a nice shot there by Benjamin Danfoos, and lots of traffic in front of Gentleman, and he wasn't able to handle the rebound cleanly. But the Kings were able to clear it out of harm's way.
Well, and this is the second time he didn't touch on it this time, but you'll remember the first time he talked about all five of them being down inside the house, if you will, the offensive scoring area, and they just collapsed really well there. Again, moved some bodies away. We're able to get the puck around, and like you say, they're happy to take the icing. And Chase Gerger's going to win about 20 faceoffs today, and there's one of them.
McClement unable to keep it in at the line. McClement gets bodied again in front of the Kings bench. Flyers will play it down into Kings territory. 5:50 to go here in the championship game. Here's Dagg, got a couple of bodies going to the net. DeVoe spins and fires, shot right on, and saves there by Gentleman. Puck will go back to the point. Here's Sear now on the right point. Sear tried to go back over to the far side, broken up as it's Barber going in, but he's got Sturgeon with that long reach of his and that strength just pushing him along the wall. Puck comes into the slot area, and that's broken up there by Saunier. As Saunier, his long lead pass will go all the way down the ice, and no icing as it went off a Kings player. Connor Sturgeon. It's like trying to get by a 747 down there when using his size and his strength.
He's always been a big player, too, and he's always been able to play with that size, and he continues to get bigger, but he plays to his strengths. You know, he's the most offensive defenseman on this hockey club is Noah Collette. But Sturgeon knows his role. He plays that solid number 2 guy. He's on their number 2 pairing, and he just plays that steady, stay-at-home, kind of get-in-the-way kind of player. Another tough giveaway here by Sear. Without looking, tried to send it over to Sturgeon. That caused Sturgeon to have to make that play. Sear was the one in the corner down there that made the other play as well. So both of those players need to get their game going and just have a little more awareness. Sending pucks across the ice without any vision can come back to burn you sometimes.
Pino trying to spin away from Adams on the far wall. Cowett comes in for support and gets the puck down below the goal line. Pino trying to get away from Adams. Good battle there. Bork comes in, picks up the puck. He lost control of it, comes back to the point. Dan Foose, far side for Collette. Colette's wrist shot goes off the blocker of Gentleman. Pino is looking for the puck, but it went off the skates of the referee, but he still manages to control. Back to the point. Dan Foose, his slap shot. That just goes wide of the goal. Puck bounces off the end wall. Bork out in front of the goal. Here's an opportunity shot right through the blue paint. Here's Cooper. He'll come all the way around onto the near side. Dan Foose knocks it down. He'll fire it wide of the goal. Cowett will chase it down. Bork will head off on the change. Collette, his one-timer, doesn't get all the way through. And the Kings starting to get a little bit sloppy here in the defensive zone. 4 minutes, 17 seconds to go here in the first period. LeBlanc plays it back there for Collette. Far left side for Weber. Weber, he'll just let it go. It comes into the Kings zone. There's a shot from Summers. It goes off the wall and comes over to the near side. Weber, realizing there's no defenseman covering back there, he got it down into the corner. Smart play there by the Flyers captain. LeBlanc battling for it. It's Summers coming up with it. Summers still with it. Plays it off the wall for LeBlanc. LeBlanc looking for options. Trying to play it there for Weber. A high-risk pass, and it results in the Kings taking it away. Here's Sturgeon. Plays it over for Vigneault. Vigneault, his long lead pass up for Weber. Weber wanted to go to Summers, but Summers was peeling off on a change. Weber back in his own zone. He'll play back for Sturgeon. Sturgeon over onto the left side now for Vigneault. Back to Sturgeon. Sturgeon up the right wing now for Dagg. Dagg has a pop off his stick, and the Kings will pick it up, and they'll play it down into Flyers territory. Vigneault plays it off the wall and behind the goal for Sturgeon. 3 minutes to go here in the opening period, a 2-0 Kings lead. Here's Dagg through the neutral zone. He gets it there for DeVoe. DeVoe fires right on Gentleman the save, and that'll be cleared away by Kilpatrick. Collette's going to have to chase it down. He's got Noah Willett all over him, and he's able to get it over onto the near side. Dagg will just tip it down into Kings territory. Head fires it off the glass and gets it out into neutral ice. Dan Foose trying to play it back in deep. There's a long lead pass for Kilpatrick. Will go all the way back down into Flyers territory. It's Collette with it for the Flyers. Up the right side for Dagg. Dagg trying to play it in deep, and he hit Gregor head with that dump-in opportunity. Then doesn't get all the way deep into Kings territory. Here's Kerr. He'll just give it to the Flyers at their line, and the Flyers will play it to an open wing. Kilpatrick trying to play it out. Pino knocks that down. It stays along the near wall. Pino chopping at it. Bork trying to get it in down deep. Pino will pick it up, plays it towards the goal, and that'll be picked up there by Tyler. Kilpatrick plays it around the wall. Barber plays it for Cooper. Back the other way now. The Kings are in. Cooper along the far wall. Fires it towards the goal. Puck's loose. And Simon Cormier will grab onto that and hang on with 1:53 to go here in the second period. And it looks like the Kings are sitting back on their heels a little bit now and able to get the puck down into Flyers territory and forcing Cormier to grab onto it and a stoppage and play.
You know, Jeff, having coached against both of these teams a bunch this season, that's the way it's going to be for this team. Dieppe is deeper. They have more skill. They're going to be playing in their end, the Kings a little bit, and the way they're going to score is on this counterattack, and that's what they've tried the last couple times.
There's a shot from Adams, blockered away there by Cormier. Sturgeon tried to play it back behind the goal. Sturgeon will play it up onto the near side now. Summers off the wall for Weber. Weber has a step on Adams. Weber shot, scores! What a goal by Nathan Weber. Goes up over the shoulder of Gregory Gentleman, and the Flyers are now within one, and this is exactly the type of goal that you're going to probably see a lot of out of the Flyers this afternoon. This is the type of goal you've seen a lot of all weekend.
Yeah, it's a play. You know, we just finished the bronze medal game where I spent a bit of time talking about stuff over top of the goaltender's shoulders on their strong side. And, you know, Nathan Weber's got to be one of those guys that's going to get this Flyers teams going, right? A minute 30 left. It's not as damaging as a inside the last minute goal, but a late goal. You know the Kings wanted to get to the dressing room up 2-0, and now that won't happen. Wonderful goal by Weber if you're a Flyers fan.
Jackson Summers with the assist. As Dan Foose battling down in the corner there for the Flyers. Ouellette plays it behind the goal, but it'll be the Flyers who pick it up. They try to wrap it around, hits the referee in the foot off the bench. Here's Pelletier. Pelletier shot, scores! An unfortunate bounce there for the Flyers as they were trying to wrap the puck around the wall. It hit the referee in the skates. They got the puck into the slot, and Noah Pelletier makes no mistake and restores that 2-goal lead. 3-1 now with 61 seconds to go here in period number one.
You know, the play that could have been made, Jeff, that wasn't made was, I don't know the forward that had the left winger that had the responsibility to check Pelletier. Pelletier danced around him, faked the shot, moved around him, got himself into a better scoring position, and don't forget about the traffic in front of Cormier. He didn't see that till it was by him.
So under a minute to go now here in period number one, and it's a 3-1 lead. Opportunity now, the Flyers in. There's a shot, goes off a leg wide. Bork trying to bank it in off the pads of Gentleman. Sturgeon fans on the shot. Over onto the far side, Sear. Here's Dag with a shot, or Bork, excuse me, and he's turned aside by Gentleman. 35 seconds to go now here in the period. The Kings just electing to play it off the glass, and another 2-on-1 odd rush shaping up here. In over the line, Barber towards the goal. Cooper had his stick tied up there by Sturgeon, and the puck goes down into the corner. Sear plays it around onto the near side. Maxwell unable to get it out. There's a long shot steered aside there by Cormier. Sear tried to play it for Sturgeon. It was in behind him. The Flyers will bank it off the wall and get it out into neutral ice. Pino gets tied up there just inside the line. The puck will get dumped down the ice, and the buzzer will sound to bring to an end the opening 20 minutes here at the Q-Plex, and the Kennebecasis Valley Kings take a 3-1 lead to the dressing room despite being outshot 16-11.
Yeah, it is this run-and-gun, wide-open game. You know, neither of these two teams are known for their defensive prowess, very unlike the bronze medal game we just saw earlier today. And what a big goal by Pelletier. You know, it felt like the Kings had lost their opportunity to take that 2-goal lead into the dressing room. You would have felt great at 2-0 in the Kings dressing room. You would have felt the opposite of the Flyers. Flyers got the opportunity to make it 2-1, and all of a sudden they're feeling great about themselves. And then they give up the 3-1 goal, the beautiful goal by Pelletier. And the tale of U15 hockey, right? The emotion, the ebb and flow back and forth. Right now the Kings have the momentum back when it looked like the Flyers had stolen it from them.
So now if you're the coach of both these teams going into the dressing room after 20 minutes of play, if you're the Kings up by a pair of goals, what are you telling your troops?
Well, I'd love to say that you had the kind of team that can just lock this thing down and win in a 4-1 kind of hockey game. They just don't play that style. So I think for the Kings, you have to keep them on their toes. You have to keep them playing, that counterattack hockey. You touched on it maybe two-thirds of the way through the broadcast, Jeff, of this hockey game. Dieppe's going to have the territorial advantage. They're going to have the ozone time over top of you on the Kings side of things. And the Kings are just going to have to keep going with that counterattack or breaking things up on a breakout play like they did on the Pelletier goal.
And on the flip side, if you're Alex Amsworthy of the Flyers, what are you telling the troops here? I mean, they got down 2-0 early. they cut the deficit to 2-1, and then not long after they gave up that goal to go down 2 again.
Yeah, this team, in my experience, I've seen them play 10, 12 times this season so far. They generate a lot of offense from their defense. So Noah Collette needs to be a critical person for them if they're going to get back into this hockey game and opportunity. He's paired with Dan Foose. They need to generate some offense. They're a -1 because of the 2-on-1 they gave up. At the end of the day, Cormier will make some saves for you. And if you're the Flyers, I think you just got to try to keep doing what you're doing a little bit. The odd man rushes have to stop. We saw Sturgeon get burned here at the end again. So you need to stop the odd man rushes, but if not, I had 16 shots in the period. I'm on my way to a 50-shot hockey game. You got to just keep it going.
And really, you alluded to Simon Cormier. You really couldn't blame him on the first 2 goals because they were both odd man rushes, and again, they got burnt on trying to play too much offense and not enough defense in the early stages of the game. And it ended up costing them on both odd man rushes on the first 2 goals.
Yeah, they were both bang plays. You can't fault him for that. And I don't even know that he saw the third goal either, right? That third goal was just a shot by Pelche. I think it was screened a little bit. It was high glove side, but it was a nice shot. And at the end of the day, he's made a couple. But he'll need to be a story in this as well.
There's no shortage of offense for sure on either side, and so it's going to be very interesting to see how the next 40 minutes play out here at the Q-Plex. 3-1 is the lead for the Kennebecasis Valley Kings over the Dieppe Flyers here in the championship game of the 2022 U15 AAA Atlantic Hockey Championships. We'll be back with second period action in just a couple of moments. You're watching it right here on AOTV. Oh, okay.
But I've been here this is my 3rd season with the team because I was with the group that won the bid originally, and
okay.
so
Okay.
yeah.
But you were involved with the organization and all that. Okay. And welcome back inside the Q-Plex here in Quispamsis, New Brunswick. It is AOTV's continuing coverage of the 2022 U15 AAA Major Atlantic Hockey Championships. I'm being joined by Mary Eileen O'Brien, and part of the organizing committee who won the bid here a couple of years ago. And, well, it's been certainly an interesting and exciting weekend of hockey. What kind of preparation and how long has this been in the works and in the process of being put together?
So the KV Kings won the bid the summer of 2019. And we got all the way to the 13th of March 2020, and the event was supposed to happen the weekend of the 2nd of April. So we got right there. Same thing last year. COVID had the tournament canceled in February. I think we found out that it wasn't going ahead. So in terms of the group, it's the parents of the KV Kings this year, but a lot of support from the parents last year and the year before. In fact, the original chairs stayed on and supported the group, answered phone calls, participated in meetings, and the sponsors too have been terrific. They've hung on for 2 years until we got to do the tournament this time.
So how many volunteers have actually been part of this whole weekend? It's been a great weekend. The volunteers that I've dealt with have been absolutely fantastic to deal with, and obviously there's a lot of people that behind the scenes have put on a great weekend here, such as a tournament as this.
Yeah, it's numbering in the hundreds that have been involved, and we've had KV Kings from other seasons return home to be part of the volunteer committee this weekend. And yeah, great support from the sponsors and the community. You know, Quispamsis really shows up, St. John, and circles around these events. We're a great hockey city.
It's a great venue here as well at the Qplex. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a nicer building to host an event like this. And talking to a lot of people that have come in from away, from Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, they've all been really impressed here with the organization of this tournament that the Kings organization did, and certainly everyone's we take our hats off to you guys on a job well done for an exciting weekend.
Thank you. Really good feedback too from the teams as they were leaving, just saying that they thought it was a first-rate tournament. And for people who have been to lots of hockey tournaments, I mean, it's little things like the kids got to leave their dressing room, their gear in the dressing room all weekend. They weren't lugging, they had dedicated dressing rooms for the whole weekend, and there were massage therapists here and trainers here for them. Like a lot of things that made the tournament feel like a special tournament, which Atlantics is, and feel like a first-class tournament.
Well, that being said, I want to personally say congratulations on a tremendous job to yourself, the committee, and all the volunteers for putting on a great weekend here in Quispamsis. And who knows, we'll wait and see when the next one rolls through here at the Qplex. Really appreciate your time. And again, congratulations on a great weekend. And obviously excited to see the Kings in the final, being from the Valley here.
It's been a really emotional morning. I'm surprised I made it through this interview without crying, because we're ready. You know, the story is writing itself, and the KV Kings are ready.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Mary Eileen O'Brien. Really appreciate it. And again, we'll see you next time we roll through here at the Qplex. That's Mary Eileen O'Brien of the organizing committee here at the 2022 U15 Major AAA Hockey Championships. We're going to take another quick timeout. When we come back, second period action from the Qplex in Quispamsis. Welcome back inside the Q-Plex in Quispam, New Brunswick. Second period action of the 2022 U15 AAA Major Hockey Atlantic Championships about to get underway. The KV Kings with a 3-1 lead over the Dieppe Flyers. Jeff Robichaud and Derek Cooling with you. And, well, we talked about it. We'll see how the teams react coming into the middle frame here.
I expect it to be more run and gun, so if you're tuned in, hang on, it'll be fun.
As the puck will come right out into the slot area, Collette knocks it down, unable to keep it in at the line, and he brought it back in offside, and probably that was the best play for Noah Collette to make there because it looked like there was some Kings attacking with some numbers there, and that's been the case, and the theme so far is the defense making some miscued plays for the Flyers.
Yeah, it's a counterattack game this Kings team will have to play. You know, they're not as gifted up front as this Flyers team will be, so they'll generate off the attack. Both teams generate a lot of offense from their defense, if you will, with Ryan Adams back there. He's one of the key guys for the Kings team, so they'll do that. But you're right, Jeff. The Flyers, you get so excited, you get jazzed up, and you start making a pinch that you shouldn't make, especially in the first period of a hockey game. And, way too many odd man rushes for the Flyers, given up by the Flyers in that first period. So I'm sure they talked about that in the intermission and settled it down. But, I expect lots of shots. I expect lots of scoring opportunities, and it's just not that lockdown style that either of these two teams play.
Kings fired down into Flyers territory. Collette gets knocked down. He comes up and hits his face into the boards quite hard, but manages to come up with the puck, but he turns it over and behind the goal, trying to get the puck out in front of the post. There's a delayed penalty here as there's a shot that goes wide of the Flyers' goal. Gentleman heading to the bench for the extra attacker, but the Flyers are going to be shorthanded now for the next 2 minutes or less. 19-13 to go here in period number 2. Kings another power play advantage, and that all stemmed from Collette losing an edge, going down in the corner hard, and he just kind of seemed to lose his sense of where he was for a minute, and he turned the puck over, and he was forced to take a penalty. Yeah,
I didn't know if it was in reaction to something. I only saw him when he hit into the boards, but big next goal here, Jeff. I touched on it in our pregame. It's going to be 4-1 or 3-2 here for one of these teams, and those are two different games. It gets up to 4-1. The Kings are starting to feel in control. It goes to 3-2, and you start to set some panic in, right? So it'll be important to figure out, and if you're the Kings, you got that goal at the tail end of the first period that restored the 2-goal lead. Really big goal by Pelche. Lovely goal by Pelche on the wrist shot from the high slot area. And then now you have this power play opportunity to start the second period. So you look to be back on your heels after one, because you gave up the 2-1 goal. It ended up being 3-1, and now you're gifted a power play opportunity here.
Here's Culligan now. He'll play it over to the far left point for Adams. Adams trying to come through the middle of the slot area for Kerr. That was broken up. Weber picks it up, gets it as far as the line. Pass was intended for Cooper. Goes off the heel of his stick and pops out into neutral ice. Culligan now deep in his own zone. 30 seconds gone in the Kings power play. Culligan trying to get a little too fancy with it. Adams now, he'll start out. Adams trying to pick up some speed, gets the red line, he'll dump it in. Cormier will come out and play the puck. He'll leave it there. He'll play it around the wall, trying to get it up for Weber to tip it out. Comes back to the point. Culligan, far left point for Adams. Adams, his wrist shot goes off the blocker of Cormier and up over the glass and out of play. 58 seconds gone in the man advantage for the Kings. 18-15 remaining here in period number 2.
Small little play, Jeff. We'll see what you thought of it, but the hard rim by Adams, great play by Cormier to go out and get it. That's what you want your goaltender to do. But I felt between him and Sturgeon, they weren't sure if it was an I got it, you take it. Cormier could have rimmed it earlier and got it out. Sturgeon could have got it if Cormier hadn't have touched it and got it out. But because Cormier hung onto it for a little longer, then gave to Sturgeon, by then the forecheck from the Kings had arrived and they weren't able to get it out.
Off the draw now, it is fired down the ice by the Flyers, and I've noticed that snuck underneath the blade of Gregory Gentleman. That could have been dangerous there. And I did mention this. I've noticed Simon Cormier very good at handling the puck as well. There's the Kings turning it over, and the Flyers sending it back into Kings territory. And the Kings a little lackadaisy back there on their breakout and allowing the Flyers to come up with the puck. Here's Dagg back to the point for Sturgeon. Sturgeon, his wrist shot gets blocked on the way through, and the Kings will come out, and that was Noah Willett blowing a tire over on the far side, and that allows the Flyers to dump it back into Kings territory. And the last time the Flyers had a power play or penalty, they killed it off, and it seemed like they took some momentum, so this could be a very big kill for the Flyers here in the early stages of this period. Kings fire it off the wall, and it actually goes over the glass in front of the penalty box and hits the glass that protects the fans here, and it out of play, so it results in a stoppage in play. 17-17 to go here, and just 4 seconds before Noah Collette comes back out of the penalty box.
Yeah, you see Weber asking for the faceoff to be inside the Kings zone. I think it's going to, yeah, they are going to bring it inside the zone because it was clearly off of a Kings player. So you're right, Jeff, and good catch by you that it hit off the outside of the rink area glass. And bang on, the Flyers through the latter half of this power play chance have had the greater number of scoring chances.
So we'll see if this will be a bit of a momentum swing here for the Flyers. Collette out of the penalty box, back to pick it up. Turns it over in the corner. Lucas Brown up there, plays it over into the near side. The Flyers will come up with it on the near side. Weber gets bodied, lets the puck go back to the point. Adams sends a wrist shot through, hits Barber on the way through. Cleared out as far as the line. Adams will keep it in. He'll play it into the corner. Barber gets bodied. The Flyers will play it up onto the near side, and it'll be Weber starting out. Weber gets around Adams. Weber's got a man going to the net. Weber with it. Cross crease pass, and that was fired right through the crease. As Summers unable to connect on that pass from Weber. Kings will fire it all the way down the ice. Vingo, he's got Weber up the line, feeds it there to him. Weber delays it inside the line. He'll play it around the wall. LeBlanc, DeVoe up there looking for it. Daigle gets it back to the point. There's a wrist shot right on the save. Gentleman, big rebound out into the slot area, and the Kings come up with it. Kings will dump it right in onto Simon Cormier, and he will grab onto it and hang on. 16:06 to go now here in period number 2. It's a 3-1 Kings lead, but it feels like the Flyers are starting to build a little momentum after killing off that penalty at the early stages of this second period.
Yeah, and I think we touched on it, Jeff. They will continue to do that, right? They'll play a heavy front-of-your-feet kind of game, and it's going to be about the Kings defending, saving a couple bounces, but I really think if the Kings can bounce through here and get that fourth goal to send it up 3-1, you just give yourself more rope to play with, if you will.
Saunier will chip it down into the corner. Saunier first on the puck. A couple of Flyers and a couple of Kings down low. Flyers now with it along the wall. Flyers control now. Saunier out in front of the net, tried to feed someone in the high slot area. It will go all the way back down into Flyers territory. Cormier will play it around the wall for Sturgeon. Sturgeon chops it off the wall. Green tries to knock it down. However, Pino is able to get it out back towards the Kings line, and the Kings will fire it back, and it's knocked down by Sturgeon. Sturgeon making his way in over the line. Sturgeon going to use that big frame of his to control the puck and keep it down in deep. Danfus pinching down. He'll keep it in. Puck will get sent down into the corner. Pino giving chase. Pino will get bumped by 2 Kings players. The puck will come loose. However, the Flyers will control. Pino trying to get a shot off, gets blocked. Here's Danfus, winds, fires, and that gets blocked on the way through as well. Here's Peltier. He'll dump the puck down into Flyers territory on the wrong side of the red line. The Kings thought he got the red line, but he was about 2 strides short, and so that'll bring the faceoff back into Kings territory. 5:06 gone here in period number 2.
I think that's one of those calls that if you don't call it icing, I don't think anybody's griping with you, but because you do make the call, the Kings bench wasn't overly happy. We'll see if this faceoff comes back to burn them or not.
LeBlanc's going to get waved out of the faceoff circle, and Weber will come in and take the draw for the Flyers. And Weber wins it back to the point. Danfus down into the corner, trying to get the puck out in front of the goal for Summers. That was broken up. Danfus keeps it in at the line. Summers into the corner, tries to get it there for LeBlanc, but that's broken up. The Kings can't get it out, and they will on the second attempt. Flyers will tip it back into Kings territory. Kings will play it off the glass. Nice read there by Collette to keep the puck in at the Kings line. Kings, however, will clear it out in neutral ice. Danfus will pick it up, and he'll dump it back in to KV territory. The Flyers will make wholesale changes. Puck turned over just outside the line. Kilpatrick picks it up. He turns it over once again, but then the Flyers turn it over in the neutral zone. In over the line, Clark. He lost control of it. The Kings will dump it back into Flyers territory. Long lead pass up for DeVoe. DeVoe picks it up, plays it towards the middle of the ice. Here's Weber. DeVoe back with a shot right on. Gregory Gentleman with the save, and kind of a quick little peek over his shoulder. He wasn't quite sure if that snuck through or not. And we have another stoppage in play with 6:02 gone now in period number 2. Shots 20-13 favoring the Flyers, but they find themselves down by a pair of goals at 3-1.
Gentleman just a hair deep on that one, and that's why I think it was concerning for him whether that one had trickled down or not, but was able to make the save, and he's been there when they've needed him to be. Made some nice individual saves in the first period, and that's a good one by him here in period 2.
Daigle gets bumped in the corner. Saunier trying to get a shot off. Puck bouncing around. They score! A bit of a broken down play defensively there by the Kings in their own zone, and it looked like it was Caleb LeBlanc, the last one to touch it and sneak it through the wickets of Gregory Gentleman, and the Flyers now are within 1, and we talked about it. It was the big kill, and it looks like the Flyers have taken the momentum.
Yeah, they have, and it started, it's surprised it didn't carry over a little bit from that end of the first period, but we talked about the next goal being massive, right? If Kings had got it, 4-1's a tough haul, but 3-2 is a scary hockey game when you're the team that's leading, but being outplayed a little bit and almost being doubled up on shots.
Samuel DeVoe was actually the last one to touch it. Caleb Sear and Liam Daigle with the assists, and now the Flyers are within 1, so now, as you said, different hockey game, different approach now here for the next half of this game. Kings out into the slot area. Kilpatrick fanned on the shot. Vingo plays it up the wall. Kilpatrick knocks it back into the corner. Vingo trying to play it through a bunch of bodies. It could have come around the other side, and the puck will come back behind the goal, and Sturgeon's there to pick it up. His pass gets broken up by Clark. Sturgeon forced to play it back over for Vingo. Vingo, middle of the ice, nice pass there for Weber. Weber, he'll just play it down into Kings territory. Flyers will peel off on a change. Here's an opportunity down low on the forward check, and that almost squirted out in front of the goal. Here's an opportunity now. This is Willette. Willette on the backhand, sends it cross crease. Kilpatrick couldn't get a stick on it. Puck now back in front of the goal, bounces off the defenseman, the forward Pino, who's down low, and Simon Cormier had to be sharp on that one because that almost snuck its way through. And so here we are, another stoppage and play. The referees are letting them have one or two shots each, not calling anything. And really, this is the type of hockey that should be allowed to be played unless it's blatantly obvious what it is. Little pushing and shoving after the whistle is fine.
It goes both ways, right? And as soon as you see another team doing it, you're more apt to do it. And as long as both are played evenly together, then yeah, you're right. I agree with it. They're big boys. They can take care of themselves.
Kerr gets waved out of the face-off circle. It'll be Barber to take the draw for the Kings. And that was a face-off loss in the offensive zone. Puck down in the corner, however. It's Brown battling down there. He loses that wall battle, and it'll be the Flyers starting back the other way. Puck will come out into neutral ice. The Kings will control. They turn it over, however. Here's Saunier. Saunier has it poked off his stick, and it's an offside at the line as Saunier couldn't hold the line. And DeVoe brought it in offside. 12:15 to go here in the third. And there's a little sense that the Kings are starting to sit back and tighten up here a little bit defensively instead of trying to open things up. Again, seen a lot of each of these hockey clubs. The Flyers can come at you that way when they're playing that well, Jeff, and I'd say that's a little bit of the Kings allowing that and more around just the character of this Flyers hockey club. They come at you heavy, they can come at you hard, they move around the puck really quickly. Puck will get sent back to the line. Bork, he'll send a shot high and wide. Blockered away there by Gentleman. Kings will just elect to get it out into neutral ice. Here's an opportunity now. This is Clark on the near side. Leaves it for Green. Green will play it around the wall. Over into the far corner. That's Maddox Burns. He gets bodied. Clark up there looking for the loose puck. There's Green. He'll play it back down below the goal line, and it'll give the Flyers an opportunity to break out as Maxwell tried to tip it out into neutral ice. They said Peltier could have played that, and it goes all the way down into Kings territory. No icing. That allows the Flyers to change up the forward line. Great job on the forecheck there by the Flyers. Here's LeBlanc. LeBlanc down low, trying to get it out to Weber. Weber will pick it up. Tried to play it there for Summers. It went right through his legs. Sear, he'll play it down in behind the goal line. Weber will pick it up in the far corner. Weber battling along the wall. Walking out. Weber still with it. Plays it to the left point for Sear. Sear, his shot doesn't get all the way through. That's knocked down. The Kings trying to get it out. Weber controls it along the wall. Plays it back to point for Sear. Sear just elect to try to fire it wide, and then the Kings will pick it up and fire all the way down the ice, and this is going to be an icing call. So now the Flyers seem to be controlling the play territorially, still down by a goal, and they seem to be nice and relaxed at this point. So whatever message was delivered to them after the first period from Alexander Armsworthy seems to be working.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit too, Jeff. They are going to get a fair amount of chances. One of them went in here, and you're waiting for the next one to go in. If you're the Kings, you got to try to weather some things. Try to play physical on this hockey club. See if you can draw them into a penalty or something. The Kings could really benefit from a power play chance that would turn the momentum back around their way a little bit.
Puck down into the corner. Kings will come up with it on the near side. There's going to be a penalty here coming up to the Flyers. It's going to be a hooking call, and I do believe it's going to be Samuel DeVoe going off on the hook. But all this territorial edge and play, all has come off a couple of big penalty kills for the Flyers here. So one of two things are going to happen. It's either going to be a 3-3 game after 2 minutes, or the Flyers will kill it off and really take the momentum and really take it to the Kings. So we'll have to wait and see how this next 2 minutes or less play out here.
You never like offensive zone penalties if you're the team that's chasing, and the Flyers are chasing on the scoreboard, at least for now.
Murphy now, he'll start out, he'll skate over to the far side. He'll play it off the wall, down behind the goal. Dan Fuchs, he'll wrap it around the far side, hit the referee, so here's Willett. He'll play it back to the point. Murphy back over onto the far wall for that's Barber. Barber with a shot right on, and he'll grab onto it and hang on. That's a couple of bounces there that almost costed the Flyers. It did cost them late in the first period as the Flyers tried to wrap it around the wall, and it hit the linesman, and the puck came right out in front of the goal to make it a 3-1 game. And again there, Dan Foose wrapping it around, and it hit the referee right in the back.
Well, I got a bit of a cheat code because I see the Kings so much. But again, I'm going to talk, it's a face-off win, right? Like, the Chase Kerr is very good in face-offs, and that helps all the time, but it helps on power plays so that you're not chasing the puck for 20 seconds and then trying to get back into your territorial the offensive zone. And
you actually say Kerr is a face-off win, but now he got waved out of the face-off circle. It'll be Barber to come in and take the draw for the Kings. It's a scramble draw. The Flyers will fire it off the wall, and it'll get past Murphy all the way down the ice. Pelche giving chase. Daigle chasing down Pelche. And that'll force Pelche to hit the brakes and start his way back in behind the goal. Halfway mark of the game here, folks, and it's a 3-2 Kings lead with the power play for the next minute and 15 seconds. Murphy in over the line, hits the brakes, back to the point. Pelche, his wrist shot redirected on the way through. Simon Cormier did not see that until it hit off the back wall. Pelche, high slot now. Pelche looking, trying to wait for some traffic. Plays it back to the point for Murphy. Murphy over to the far side. Barber couldn't handle the pass. Daigle will pick it up, and he'll fire it down the ice. 9:25 to go here in the second period. 45 seconds remaining in the penalty to Colin Saunier. Here's Pelche through the neutral zone for the Kings, in over the line. Pelche towards the middle of the ice. He'll send it down below the goal line. Green will pick it up there for the Kings, plays it back to the point for Culligan. He mishandled the puck, and that'll go all the way back down into Kings territory. LeBlanc going to chase it down against Adams. LeBlanc going to try and chew off some more time, and nice job there by the Flyers on the forecheck on the penalty kill. In over the line now, the Kings. It's Willett in the far corner, plays it off the wall, back to the point for Adams, walking to the middle. Top of the right circle, Culligan. Culligan through the slot area, and Sturgeon got a stick on it. It bounces out to the neutral zone, and an opportunity here for LeBlanc. LeBlanc, however, at the end of a long shift, he'll just peel off and head to the bench after taking a heavy hit. The teams are now back at even strength. Culligan went to play it for Price. Price hit the brakes. McClement into the corner to pick it up. He'll play it up onto the near side. Saunier gets it out into neutral ice. DeVoe following up. He'll get it as far as the red line, and the Kings will play it back into Flyers territory. Flyers dump it out into neutral ice for the Kings, and the Kings will fire it high and wide. Here's McClement up the left wing for Saunier. Saunier plays it off the wall. Knocked out of the air with a high stick by Pelche. And Pelche touched it again, and it was probably a good thing that he did because Weber was up there with some speed. 12:01 to go here. 12:01 gone, Derek. Here in the second period, 3-2 Kings lead.
Yeah, that's the one thing the Flyers didn't have when they got the puck out of their own end, is they didn't have anybody moving here. They were stationary. They tried to chip off the glass and ended up in that offensive play. But if they had got that going, you're right, they would have been flying.
Off the draw, it's controlled by the Flyers. Here's Cowett. He's got a man going to the net. Cowett to Maxwell, and the pass was between his legs. Ouellette will wrap it around the wall onto the near side for the Kings, picking it up there. Is Clark, he'll get it out into neutral ice. Vigneault, his pass intended for Pino goes all the way down the ice, and this is going to be an icing call. And speaking of Vigneault, I just looked over my right shoulder of our broadcast location and seen Alexandre Vigneault, who used to play in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, who happens to be his Malik Bork Vigneault's father. And what a great little defenseman he was in the Q back in the day. And Benjamin Danfus, of course, the son of Jean-François Danfus, former New Jersey Devils draft pick. DeVoe through the neutral zone. Gets the red line. He'll fire it in wide of the goal. Puck bounces right out in front of the goal, and the Flyers are right on it, and they fire it high and wide. Flyers still with it. Back behind the goal. Saunier bodies his man. The puck still manages to come up onto the near side. The Kings will play it out to the open wing, where Danfus will pick it up, and he'll fire it back into Kings territory. The Flyers aggressive on the forecheck. Hudson Vale plays it off the wall and gets it out into neutral ice. Delayed offside at the Kings line, and it just seems like at this point right now the Kings are just content with playing the puck off the wall and getting it out into neutral ice and really not trying to control the flow of the game right now.
Well, you're defending, right? You're defending because the Flyers are bringing the attack at you, so the way they scored their third goal was through that counter rush, and they're looking to do that a little bit, and it's partly because the Flyers have the puck in their stick a lot.
Despite the shots on goal, the territorial play, the advantage in this period has been all Flyers down in the Kings zone for the most part. Weber will tip the puck down into Kings territory. Kilpatrick back to get it for the Kings. He'll play it up onto the near side. And the Kings, once again, there's an errant pass. It'll go all the way down the ice, and this will result in another icing call with 6:36 remaining here in period two. 3-2 is the lead for the Kings. The Flyers with a 23-16 shot edge here at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and that was 23-11 at one point, so the last five have gone the way of the Kings. So for me, that just means it's been a little while since the Flyers have had a legitimate shot on goal. There was that play that bounced off the kick plate and came back out earlier, but they didn't get a shot on it.
McClement will fire it around the wall. LeBlanc down in the corner. Weber will pick it up, leaves it there for LeBlanc. It'll be the Kings, however, who'll pick it up and control it on the near side. Long lead pass to the neutral zone. Cooper plays it down into Flyers territory. Cormier play it off, hits McClement coming back deep into his own zone. He'll wrap it around the wall onto the far side. Sear pokes it up there for Summers. Summers sends it all the way down the ice. It goes right between the legs of Maddox Burns, or excuse me, that's Aaron Murphy, and it's no icing. The Kings turned it over, but Summers turned it right back over. Pelche trying to skate it out, and the Flyers with a near break there. Summers trying to dump it in. It goes right on the stick of Pino. Vigneault jumping up into the play. He gets tripped up, and so now the Flyers will be off to the power play. It's going to be their first man advantage of the afternoon here with 5:46 remaining in the second period, trailing by a goal, and it's going to be Maddox Burns going off on the trip.
That line hasn't had a lot of ice, so you don't like to see when they're out there that one of them takes a penalty. Small little thing, just a defensive pinch. Vigneault wasn't trying to get a goal, but he was able to draw a penalty just by pinching.
Here's Sturgeon. Over to the far right point for Collette. Back to Sturgeon. Sturgeon walking in. His shot redirected right through the blue paint. Puck still loose at the side of the goal. Puck's loose, and somehow Gregory Gentleman fell on to it. Almost looked a little Dominic Hasek type of a save. He was facing the other way, and it ended up finding its way under his exterior.
Yeah, it came out behind him, and he didn't know it was out behind him. He thought he had it for a second, and then obviously when you could tell that some of the players were still frantically chasing the puck, he knew that he had to kind of spin around and figure things out. And a lot of times it's just athleticism and a bit of panic. And
so now the face-off comes outside here because they think that I'm thinking they said that the defenseman for the Flyers had come in from the point down low after the whistle. And so that forces the face-off out into neutral ice, and that'll force the Flyers all the way back into their own zone. In over the line now. Here's that's Dag. Dag trying to drop it there. Puck's loose in the slot area. A lot of people are going, you take it, I got it. Here's Collette. Plays it over onto the right side for Sturgeon. A couple of Flyers bump into each other down below the goal line. Liam Dag looking for the puck. Sturgeon will pinch in from his point position and use his foot to keep it alive. Back for Sturgeon. Sturgeon back to the point for Collette. Collette, wrist shot right on. Saved by Gentleman, and the Kings will clear it out. That's Ouellette getting it the rest of the way down the ice. Under a minute to go now in the Flyers power play. 4:35 remaining here in period number 2. Here's LeBlanc on the near side. He'll play it back for Sturgeon. Sturgeon over for Pino. Pino looking for some options. He'll play it there in the corner for Weber. Weber walking out, trying to work his way into the slot area. He'll play it back to the point. Dan Foose fanned on his pass, but he'll get it back to Weber. Weber, top of the circle, sends a shot in right on the save by Gentleman. The rebound jumps up into the air. Flyers control. Sturgeon, his one-time shot, redirected right on, rebounds there. Weber couldn't get it through. Weber with another attempt, and the Kings will get it and get it down the ice, and that'll bring to an end the power play for the Flyers. So a couple of good opportunities there for the Flyers with the man advantage, as the teams are now back to even strength with 3:40 to go here in period number 2. Pass up the left wing for DeVoe. DeVoe up to Pino. Pino gets bodied off the puck. Peltier picks it up for the Kings. It'll come up onto the near wing. It'll get sent down into Flyers territory. Dan Foose back to get it, being pressured there by Brown. Brown takes down Dan Foose, and Brown once again will put the Flyers back on the power play as he took the feed out from underneath Benjamin Dan Foose. And so face-off coming all the way back into Kings territory, and this is the exact type of thing that drives coaches bonkers when you take a penalty on the forecheck.
Well, offensive zone. The Flyers took one earlier in the period, offensive zone. But for me, Jeff, because this one's on the heels of one where they just killed but just barely got away with it, I think that this one's going to be difficult for the Kings. We'll see what happens, but what an opportunity for the Flyers to even this thing up late in the second period.
Here's Collette at the point. Near side for Sturgeon. Sturgeon, top of the circle. There's a shot. Dag with right on. Cleared away to the point. Collette keeps it alive. Here's Dag. Down low. He fires a shot that goes off the glass. Comes back to the point. Sturgeon will play it back behind the goal. Saunier picks it up for the Flyers. Plays it all the way back to the right point for Collette. Collette down for Saunier, for a Daigle. Back to the point. Sturgeon. Sturgeon's wrist shot blockered away there by Gentleman. Flyers keeping the play alive. Sturgeon pinching in. Sturgeon keeping the puck down along the wall. DeVoe replacing Sturgeon, and that allows the Flyers to control the puck. Sturgeon, he'll play it around the wall. It'll go over into the far corner. Murphy gets tied up with his man down below the goal line. Puck will go all the way back to the point for Collette. Collette plays it down into the corner. Back for Daigle on the far wing. Daigle to the middle of the ice. Collette, his wrist shot right on. Gentleman, the save. Rebound is cleared away, and it'll come back out in neutral ice.
Penalty killers are tired. We'll see if they get them off.
Here's Sturgeon now, right back the other way. 4 Flyers into the zone. As coming back was Kerr. He's able to get it around the far side. Collette will keep it in at the line. Collette battling there with Vale. The puck comes loose. It's kept in, and it's put back deep down into the Kings territory. Nice job there, and a nice board win battle there for Aaron Murphy, who was able to come up with the puck and get it down the ice. Half a minute to go in the man advantage. Kerr is up there on the penalty kill. He'll play it back into the corner. 1:40 to go here in period number 2. Sturgeon up the right side for Weber. Last rush on the power play. Weber is in over the line. Lost control of the puck. Peltier, he'll play it around the wall. It'll be kept in at the line by Sear. Far side for Dan Foose. Back to Sear. Sear on to the top of the right circle. Weber into the slot. Here's an opportunity. Pass right in front. They score! What a beautiful goal there by the Flyers with 1 second left on the power play, and it's a different hockey game. We're all tied up at 3.
So if you're Luke Simpson on the Kings bench right now, you really have to figure out how to make sure you get through the next minute and 20 seconds and don't give another one up. You'd like to get the guys back into the dressing room. If you're Alex Ainsworthy on the other side of the bench, you want your horses out there for the next minute and 20 before they get a break and say, let's go grab this title and put it in our sights if we can get a fourth goal here. So it'll be an interesting minute and 20 here, Jeff. Both teams, one with their feet on the gas pedal, the other one hanging on.
And we're all tied up at 3 now with a minute 10 to go. Jackson Summers with the assist, the goal. Jacob Pino and Nathan Weber with the goals the assist, at 18:40. And what a beautiful tic-tac-toe play that was down low. Flyers on the attack in the neutral zone. The Kings will just dump it down into Flyers territory. Cormier plays it off the wall. It'll come out as far as the line. Pelche keeps it in. On the second attempt, Saunier will just get it out in neutral ice. Here's Collette jumping up into the play. He knocks it down in the neutral zone. He thought he touched it. Referees called it a hand pass, and so we'll have a stoppage in play with 37.1 seconds to go.
Jeff, I ended up with a coaching hat on during, as soon as the goal was over, so I didn't comment on the goal. Now that I get a chance to. You're right, it was a wonderful play. Everyone at the U15 level is waiting for the shot to come off the right wing side there, and a beautiful pass right into the slot area, and really just a redirect opportunity. But it was that extra pass that made it happen, obviously.
Gregory Gentleman really had nothing. There's nothing he could do. He was sliding one way, the puck came right back the other way. It was bang, bang, and Jackson Summers had a wide open net to slide it home.
You have to play the shot there. That's what he did, and the pass, you have to rely on your D to tie the guy up. They weren't there for that because they were looking shot as well, and that's what happened.
Here's Collette. He'll play it in behind the goal for Dan Fuchs. Weber, he'll just chop it off the wall and get it out in neutral ice, and the Kings will play it right back into Flyers territory. 16 seconds to go. Here's LeBlanc. LeBlanc, he'll just get it down in deep and behind the goal. Here's LeBlanc with an opportunity trying to throw it out in front of the goal, and that was broken up. Opportunity at the side of the goal. Wrap around, attempt right on. Weber with the shot, and Gentleman had to hug the post and stay tight there, and the buzzer will sound to bring to an end a very entertaining second period here at the Qplex in Quispamsis, New Brunswick. The championship game of the 2022 U15 AAA Major Atlantic Hockey Championships. Coach, let's have your thoughts on that second period.
Well, it is what we thought it would be, right? Like it's, the shots are 33-16 now. We suggested that the Kings were going to be defending. They were going to be on their heels a little bit, and they were, and that 3-1 lead is now given up, right? So if you're the Kings, you have to go find it. Benches is going to get shorter a little bit so that you don't expose that bottom depth that you don't have. And if you're the Flyers, you just keep firing pucks, right? I said at the end of the first period, you're on your way to a 50-shot game. There's nothing that will deter me from that thought, and it's going to have to be Gregory Gentleman defending, getting pucks down the ice, using face-offs, and it's the team where it's going to be, can the Flyers bust through, or can the Kings counterattack and get a goal to go up 4-3?
Shots on goal in that second period. They didn't start out. Neither team really had an advantage at the start of that period, but if you look at the shot count now in that second period alone, 17-5 favoring the Flyers. It was just all Dieppe, really territorial in that second period. They had, and again, we talked about the importance of the penalty kill. They killed off a couple of big penalties. They took some momentum, and they were able to claw their way back and get themselves back into the game here. Tied up at 3 going into the third period with 2 unanswered goals for the Flyers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that 3-1 lead. What a start the Kings got. Maybe the Flyers were a little bit nervous. They had some defensive lapses in that first period, but they tightened it up after that, and they've been able to generate that momentum. So I'd say if you're the Flyers, you're happy with things. You've outscored them 2-0 in the period and outshot them 17-5. You just need to bring more of that. If you're the Kings, though, you got to figure out, God, how do we have a little more than 5 shots on goal, and how do we match the speed and the energy and the effort that this Flyers team is bringing at us?
Also, if you're the Kings, are you happy coming out of that second period tied at 3 with the way the Flyers played aggressively and really controlled the play in that second period?
Well, I think if somebody said at the start of this tournament,
Kings, would you accept a tie game going into the third period in a gold medal game? I think they would take it. I don't think they'd like how they got here. They got here by having a second period where they were out-efforted, they were outshot, and they were outscored. So I think if you look at it at a macro level, I think you should be happy with where you are. You're in the finals, and it's tied at 3, and you got a chance to bring home an Atlantic Championship.
And so that being said, we're going to take a quick time out here at the Qplex. 40 minutes in the books of the championship game as the Kennebecasis Valley Kings and the Dieppe Flyers are tied up at 3. It's going to be an interesting third period here in the gold medal game. We're going to take a quick time out, and we'll come back. Derek and I will talk about the second period a little bit more, and we'll get ready for third period action. You're watching the 2022 U15 AAA Major Atlantic Hockey Championships here on AOTV. My apologies. I forgot to turn the receiver on before coming over here. Thanks to Brian Fisher for going over and turning that on for us. Jeff Robichaud, Derek Cooling with you. Third period action about to get underway. Derek, this hockey game, this championship final has been everything we've expected to be after the entire weekend. The two best teams battling it out, and a 3-3 tie going into the third period. You couldn't have asked for anything more, and couldn't have been scripted better for either one of these teams or the Hockey New Brunswick.
Yeah, I know you're right, Jeff. It's been entertaining for fans. It's been entertaining for us to bring it to you on AOTV as well. I think if you ask both teams, they'd rather be up 5-1 and trying to nurse it home, but it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be run and gun. Kings were much better in the first period, played on their heels in the second period. The Flyers took a little while to get things going. Of
course, the big thing for the Flyers has been their ability to kill off penalties, and it seemed like each time they've killed off a penalty, they've gained momentum. And really, that seems to be what has set the Kings back on their heels in the second half of this game.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. And they've also generated their last penalty. They also generated a little bit of offense from it. So you're right. Not only did they get the momentum from killing it, they had the majority of the scoring chances on their last one, power play goal. But the one before that, they generated some opportunities. So you're right. It's been used, and you see that a lot, right? The Kings need to try to settle things down. They're in their dressing room now, trying to talk about how to slow.
And welcome back to the Qplex in Quispamsis, New Brunswick. Third and final 20-minute period here in the championship game of the U15 AAA Major Atlantic Championships. Jeff Robichaud, Derek Cooling, Brian Fisher, our cameraman, bringing it to you. And it's been an exciting weekend of hockey, and it's certainly going to be an exciting finish to the weekend as we're deadlocked at 3. Here's Dan Foose. He fans on the shot. Backhand shot from Summers. That just sails wide of the goal. Peltier wraps it around the wall. Collette will keep it alive for the Flyers. Flyers, however, will peel off the forward lines, and they'll make some changes. And that'll allow the Kings to start out through the neutral zone. Peltier will dump it down into Flyers territory. Cormier will play it up along the near wall. It'll come up for Daigle. Dag, his pass to the middle of the ice, almost picked off there by Cooper. Adams, his long lead pass is going to go all the way down the ice. And on the fresh ice, it's going to make it down for an icing call. 49 seconds gone here in period number 3 in a 3-3 hockey game.
So, Jeff, for you, it's the last period of this tournament. You've been the voice of this thing since the start. 9 games, 27 periods for you?
I think it's closer to 12. I think this is the 12th game.
Wow.
So it was 3 on the first day, 4 on the second, 3 Saturday, plus the 2 today. So it's been an endurance for sure. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
You're right. Well done. We've enjoyed listening to you, and you'll enjoy, hopefully, your Monday a little quieter.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone who's tuned in here so far over the weekend. We've had some good numbers here on AOTV as the puck gets fired down into Kings territory. We'll talk a little bit more about that as the period goes on. There's Saunier. He'll fire a shot high and wide. Cooper on the far side. He'll play it out in a neutral ice. Bork Vigneault. He'll play it back towards the Kings line. Flyers were on the line change, so they really couldn't do anything with it. The Kings are into Flyers territory. The puck will bounce down onto Simon Cormier, and he'll hang on. And no, it's been it certainly has been a fun weekend for me, to say the very least. I'd been out of broadcasting for probably about 10 years or so, and when they asked me to come back a couple of weeks ago to work here at AOTV, it's been fun. It's just like getting back on the bike, and you didn't forget how to do it. So I'm excited to have been here. Here's Pelche, puck bouncing around in the slot area as the puck will get cleared off the wall, and it'll go all the way back down to Gregory Gentleman. He'll play it away for Head right away. Puck along in the near wall here. Squirts loose. Bork. He'll cycle it down below the goal line. Pino chasing it down. Head will play it there for Pelche. Pelche tried to play it up the near side, hit the referee, and it bounced down for Clark. Ouellette, far side for Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick being kept to the outside there by McClement. Nice job there by the Flyers defenseman. McClement, however, turns it over at the line. Following up is Pino, and that'll start back the other way for the Flyers. And Pino slowed up just a little bit, and that put Samuel Cowett offside at the Kings line. 2:19 gone here in period number 3. Still tied up at 3, 34-17 the shots.
See the slower start advantaging the Kings a little bit. You know, we talked about how this Flyers team likes to play downhill, likes to play run and gun, likes to play fast and in your face. The Kings, I think, will take a bunch of face-offs if they want. We've seen their propensity to want to ice the puck without hesitancy, and I think that plays into their game, that slows things down and is a bit more methodical than the Flyers want them to be.
Adams will fire the puck back into Flyers territory. Here's Dan Foose. Long lead pass up there for Summers. He'll just play it into the Kings zone. Gentleman will play it back up to the near wing, near side. Flyers will keep it in just inside the line, only momentarily. It gets fired back into Kings territory. Kerr, he'll play it over onto the far side. That's Murphy. Gets turned back. He has to play it over to Adams on the far side. Adams nearly turned it over in his own zone as he fanned on that pass. There's too many men on the ice call, as there's some disorganization at the Kings bench, and so the Flyers are going to take a bench minor for too many men on the ice, and the coaches over there are saying that the referee. So now they're discussing it here, because they said that we've seen a few times where the puck had hit players coming off the bench who didn't necessarily play the puck, and they've called it a too many men on the ice penalty this weekend, and there's been other times where they've let it go. So now it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and which direction this goes. But to me, if they called it one way all weekend, they should be calling it the same all weekend.
You're right. It needs to be consistent, and that's a credit to the Kings staff that just want them to figure it out, want them to evaluate it, and I think they've decided no too many. Now, obviously, the Flyers are going to look for an explanation on this. Flyers, if my recollection's right, they did take a too many men on the ice earlier in this contest, but so there we're getting the official announcement from Donnie O'Brien to say basically no penalty on the no infraction or no penalty, and we'll continue 5-on-5.
So that could be a very fortunate break there for the Kings here at early stages of the third period. Head plays it off the wall. Burns will dump it down into Flyers territory. Sturgeon back after it. Puck will go around the far side, and it'll be picked up there by Saunier. His pass through the middle of the ice comes all the way back towards the line. It'll be knocked back into Flyers territory. DeVoe playing it over for Sturgeon, and Saunier will just play it back out in a neutral ice. Kings once again will dump it back into Flyers territory. Cormier fell down, lost an edge. Very slow to get back to the net, but he's there. There's a shot from Burns redirected on, and Cormier with the save. DeVoe, he'll play it up the near side. Daigle just chop it off the wall and get it back down into Kings territory. Pelche off the glass for Head. He'll play it up. Cooper plays it inside the Flyers line. There's a long pass there, attempt by Dan Foose, and that hit the Kings player, Cooper, and he's very slow to get up. Back to get it for the Flyers is Sturgeon. Sturgeon wraps it hard around the wall, but Bork was way too far up in the neutral zone to pick that up, and the Kings will send it back into Flyers territory. 4.5 gone here in the third. All tied up at 3. Bork plays it up. Adams trying to play it back in deep, but it's picked up there by Pino, who's in over the line. Pino, he gets taken against the wall there by Clark. Nice job there defensively. But Pino still with it. Pino trying to come out front. Puck bouncing around in the blue paint. Bork can't pull the trigger on the shot, and it goes over into the far corner. On the near side now. Clark gets it out as far as the line. Sear gets it there for Bork. Bork, his shot right on as Gentleman's dropped his stick. And it'll be the Kings who'll pick it up. It's Ouellette back the other way. Ouellette, he gets stood up there nicely by Sear. McClement wraps it around the far side. Maxwell trying to tip it out. Kings keep it in. Here's an opportunity. Shot right on. And Simon Cormier very nonchalantly grabs onto that, and he'll hang on with 5:24 gone now here in period number 3.
I almost need a 3-minute stoppage in play to be able to talk about all the things that I want to talk about while it's going on. I think I will choose to take the time to. I've been watching Cormier after he dumped himself behind the net. He banged into the net when he was behind it. He's been flexing his knee a little bit, and he's been flexing his back a little bit. I think he's fine, but he's probably not 100% perfect after he fell behind his own net. He was able to make that save and obviously hang on.
Back underway, there's a shot from the point right on, and Cormier will take that one right in the Flyers logo, and he'll hang on. And he was actually almost too nonchalant and too slow getting back into the net after he fell there. As the play started coming back the other way, he'd still not gotten back into position, but he eventually managed to get back into position to make the save, and we'll have to keep an eye out on how that may affect him the rest of the game. Here's Weber through the neutral zone. Weber gets around Peltier. Weber gets hit hard in the wall here, and that brings the fans to their feet here a little bit. Back the other way, Barber now. Barber trying to get around 4 Flyers, and the Flyers are able to clear it out into neutral ice. Kings will dump it back down in onto the Flyers' goal. Here's Weber to Jackson Summers, who has a goal here this afternoon. He has the game-tying goal. Puck hits Kerr at the bench. And there, now we are going to have a too many men on the ice penalty here.
It was blatant. There were 6 on for 2 or 3 seconds. So it'll be the advantage that the Kings want. And you know what? Like if you're...
Now, see, I thought the penalty was coming to the Kings because the puck hit Kerr on the way, but now...
No, it's too many on Dieppe.
It's actually going on to the Flyers now.
Yeah, there were 6 men on for 3 or 4 or 5 seconds in front of the bench. And in traditional too many men on the ice fashion, it was the player who came off, had touched... The player coming on had touched it before the player going off. So this is exactly what you need if you're the Kings, Jeff. That's what the doctor ordered if you can. Now, I know the Flyers have got some momentum from some of these power plays, but at the same time, the Kings, this is the counter-punch opportunity they were looking for.
As Sturgeon is just keeping his stays down on the puck. The extra shot was taken in on Sturgeon, and Collette took exception to that extra shot when Sturgeon was down and
dumped his man,
and the referee not going to call anything. I think he's just letting one shot go and just to say get out of there, kind of much like they do with a goaltender. So just 13 seconds gone here in the penalty, the bench minor to the Flyers for too many men on the ice. Sturgeon wraps it up the wall. It's kept in at the line. Murphy actually turned it over at the line, and that allows the Flyers to get the puck back down into Kings territory. Adams will hit the brakes and behind the goal. Plays it up the left side for Murphy. Through the neutral zone now. Murphy's over the line. Gets around Collette. But Pino coming all the way back down deep for support. He's able to pick it up and get it down the ice. Adams will skate it out of his own zone. Adams through the neutral zone. In over the Flyers line. Adams cutting to the middle. Shot goes off a leg and into the near corner. Adams at the point. Wrist shot off the glove of Cormier, off the glass. It's kept in at the far side by Peltier. Down into the corner for Kerr. Ouellette. Down into the corner. Kerr with it now. Back to the point for Pelletier. Pelletier, wrist shot right on. Cormier the save. And he'll close the wickets and hang on. And another stoppage and play. 42 seconds remaining in the Kings' man advantage. 12 and a half to go here in the third.
Boy, the ebb and flow of it all. The first minute of that power play fell again, like what you said, Jeff, that the Flyers were starting to generate some momentum out of it. But in the last 20, 25 seconds, the Kings have been able to get some shots on goal. Cormier's missed a couple with the glove, Jeff. He missed one that was a play where he was just going to put his glove down on it.
There's a shot right off the draw, and Cormier, again, having a little bit of a hard time controlling the rebound. And I don't know if that's just because there's some extra traffic in front of him that he's just not seeing the puck until the last second. But in any event, he's doing the job and closing the door here for the Flyers.
Yeah, he looked good on the one prior to this one that caused the stoppage in play. That one looked, again, a little bit bumpy as well.
Off the draw, there's a shot, goes off a leg and wide of the goal. Daigle in the near corner, can't control it. Cooper with it now. He'll get it back to the point. There's an opportunity. There's a shot redirected. Lots of traffic. They score. And it looks like Simon Cormier got caught in the neck there with a puck or with a skate or something. The Kings with a 4-3 lead in any event. Trainer going to go out and take a look there at Simon Cormier. Didn't quite catch what happened on the that caused that to have the trainer come out and look at him. But in any event, it's a Aaron Murphy goal, giving the Kings a 4-3 lead here with 12:13 to go. It was a power play marker for the Kings. And actually, the referees are having a bit of a talk about this.
Well, I'm guessing a little bit. I don't know if a replay or people are seeing it that we can't. But at the end of the day, it might have been Ouellette, but I feel like a forward on the Murphy shot and Cormier came together a little bit. And I don't know if that puck went off of went off of the Kings forward or not. We'll see if they give credit to the goal to Murphy or not. Either way, it's going to be a Kings lead, 4-3.
Aaron Murphy has been credited with the goal. So now, how do the Kings play the rest of this game? Do they sit back and allow the Flyers to attack, or do they keep trying to build on some momentum here? Here's Summers. He'll play it there for LeBlanc. LeBlanc's through the neutral zone. Gets the red line and dumps it in. Puck will bounce off the side of the net. Pelletier picks it up. He'll play it around the wall. Dan Foose keeps it in. There's a wrist shot right in. Blockered away by a gentleman. He had no idea where the puck went. Dan Foose knocks it down at the line. Dan Foose trying to work his way into the slot area. Get hooked up. No call on a couple of occasions. The Flyers bench is up in arms, and the puck will go all the way down the ice, and this is an icing call. That was a glorious opportunity there for Benjamin Dan Foose, and just had his arms hooked at the very last second before he could get a shot off.
It looked like a hook, didn't it? But it wasn't called, so it wasn't a penalty. Shots are getting a little tighter now, 38-26, and that's a little a measure of the ebb and flow of the play. The Kings have had some energy over the last 5 minutes. Came from that too many men on the ice penalty that the Flyers took, and the Flyers can look nowhere but to themselves for why they're down by a goal and why the Kings have a little momentum here.
Dag plays it back to Collette. He'll play it back behind the Kings' goal. DeVoe in the far corner. Puck bouncing around, and the Kings will control. Here's Ouellette in over the line. Ouellette trying to get around Collette. Unable to. And the puck will come right back out into neutral ice. Kings will fire it back in onto Sam Cormier, and he'll grab onto that, and he'll hang on. 11:08 remaining here in the third period. 38-27 shots on goal. The Kings with a 4-3 lead. Aaron Murphy giving the Kings that lead just a few moments ago at the 7:47 mark. Brady Green picking up the lone assist on that goal. Off the draw, the Kings will fire it back towards the goal. It'll steered away there by Cormier. Sear fanned on that wraparound attempt. That allows the Kings to keep the pressure on down low. Cooper there for the Kings. Plays it off the wall, back to the point. Near side now is Adams. Back over to the point. There's a shot from head off the wall. Puck bounces off the glass. Adams fires it off the side of the goal. Back the other way now come the Flyers. Here's Weber through the neutral zone. Weber gets stood up there by Murphy. Puck will get cleared out into neutral ice. Here's Dan Foose on the near side. Dan Foose will just wrap it around the wall in Kings territory. Weber going to be first on the puck for the Flyers. Plays it back behind the goal. Kings will play it back behind their goal. A little miscommunication now allows Daigle to come up with the puck for the Flyers. Daigle walking out, has it knocked off his stick, only momentarily, still with it. Here's Collette over to the far side. This is Sturgeon, his wrist shot, blockered away there by Gentleman. As the puck will get knocked up the sideboards, and nice job there getting back was Pino and takes down his man. Here's Dag in over the line, and the whistle will be blown as it looks like it was an offside at the Kings line. And we're approaching the halfway mark here of the third period.
I think that might have been the high linesman that called it because the low linesman was caught up in that traffic from that hit. Connor Sturgeon's a very good defenseman, and he's on his way to a nice midget career, U18 career as well. But there's been a couple times, Jeff, once just there and once in the second period, where he's had traffic in front of the net, but his shot has gone to the blocker side, so Gentleman can just fire it into the corner rather than being to the glove side where the traffic is. I would have loved to have seen him take that shot more towards where the traffic is.
Puck down below the goal line, out in front of the goal, shot right on, Gentleman the save, and the puck will get cleared up along the glass. Collette keeps it alive on the near side. Collette trying to play towards the front of the goal, cleared away. Here's Daigle at the point, filling in for Collette, fires it around the wall. Kings will just tip it out into neutral ice. Collette has to be careful, he has Brown all over him. Puck will get sent down into Flyers territory, as it'll be Sturgeon there to pick it up. He'll start out of his own zone. Connor Sturgeon through the neutral zone. In over the line. Sturgeon still with it. Fires it. And then he fires a shot high and wide. Nobody here on the near side to keep that in. And so Sear forced to come all the way back. Summers plays it there for Weber. Weber's in over the line. Feeds it for Summers. Summers trying to get the shot off. And he's absolutely had two defensemen draped all over him. Kings play it off the wall. Off the glass. It comes off Sear and out in the neutral ice. Here's Dan Foose. He'll play it back into Kings territory. Kings will play it right back out in neutral ice, and they'll tip it down into Flyers territory. 8:40 to go here in the third. 4-3 Kings lead. Here's Weber. Down into the corner. Kings turn it over in their own zone. DeVoe will play it down below the goal line. The Flyers will change up the lines. Barber, he'll play it off the glass and get it down into Flyers territory. They're gonna wave this one off. Kerr takes his man into the boards. Sturgeon, he takes Cooper up the wall a little bit. That allows the Flyers to come back through the neutral zone. Here's Brown now. Or correction, Green, he'll fire it off the glass. Sturgeon, he'll play it over to the left side for Collette. Right wing pass for Daigle in over the line. Dag into the corner. Puck will come up onto the near side. Clark, he'll spin and fire it all the way down the ice. And this is going to result in an icing call. And that'll bring the face-off all the way back into Kings territory with 7:42 to go in the third period. And these icing calls hopefully won't come back to bite the Kings in the latter stages of this third period.
Well, I agree with you, Jeff. But at the same time, I think that's part of the strategy for them, right? That's part of their defense, is get the puck down the ice as soon as you can. They're decent on face-offs, and they can do this.
As the puck will get wrapped around the wall, Collette in the neutral zone. He'll play it right in front of the bench. Saunier plays it inside the Kings line. Kings will spin and fire over to the far side. This is Clark getting it out in the neutral zone. Ouellet overskated it. Flyers will play it back inside the Kings zone. Aaron Murphy, near side for Adams. Adams will skate through the neutral zone. Adams is in over the line. Wide on Collette. Adams still with it all the way behind the goal. Adams just plays it down below the goal line. Ouellet there to pick it up for the Kings. Ouellet leaves it there for Barber. Plays it back behind the goal, but it'll be picked up by the Flyers. Up on the left wing now, it's Weber. Weber headmans it there for, that pass is intended for Saunier. Too far for him and goes all the way down the ice. 6:48 to go now here in the third. 4-3 Kings lead. Aaron Murphy with the go-ahead goal at 7:47.
It's getting at that time now. If you're the Kings, you can start to sniff it a little bit, right? And if you're Dieppe, you got to continue to hammer away here. You got 40 shots.
There's a shot that doesn't get through. Pino battling down low with Kerr. Daigle will get it on the near side. He'll try to get it out as far as the line, but the Kings will pin the Flyers back in deep. Sear wraps it around. Far side, it's chopped back down into the corner there by Head. Comes all the way over onto the near side. Dag bumps with his man. Hear the referee yelling the puck is free. Puck gets out as far as the line. Peltier couldn't hold it in. Back the other way now. 2-on-2. Daigle with it. Dag winds, fires, and that goes off the stick of Gentleman. Rebound controlled there by the Flyers, only momentarily. Barber, he'll play the puck off the wall and get it out into neutral ice. Pass onto the right side. Sturgeon has to wait for everyone to come back in onside. LeBlanc back for Sturgeon. Sturgeon couldn't handle the pass in the slot area. Puck kept in at the line there nicely by Weber. Only momentarily the Kings will get it out into neutral ice. Sturgeon will play it back into the Kings zone. Peltier fires it off the glass in neutral ice. It's Cooper in over the line. Into the slot area. There's a shot that goes off a stick up over the glass and out of play. 5:37 to go now here in the third.
You're at that stage if you're the Kings trying to hang on in a 4-3 hockey game where the other team can come at you quite hard. You want to play in their end as much as you can. You get pucks to the red line, then you get them a little bit deep. So if there's any decisions to be made for the Kings, you almost play it like a penalty kill. You're just dragging pucks to corners. A Kings goal here would be devastating for the Flyers and their hopes to come in.
As we're down along the near wall, the Flyers will play it back behind their own goal. Here's Dan Foose. Dan Foose loses it. That cut Green now with it, trying to play towards the front of the goal. That was broken up. Flyers will start back the other way. Here's Weber in over the Kings line. Hits the brakes, avoids a couple of hits. Dan Foose now at the near point. No shooting lanes. He'll play it down below the goal line. Summers trying to play it down in behind the goal. That was broken up. The Kings will pick it up. They'll fire it off the wall. It goes off the stick of Dan Foose and down into Flyers territory. Sear plays it all the way up into neutral ice. The Flyers were on a line change. Flyers didn't want to get caught on a too many men on the ice call there at this stage of the game. Sear chops it around the far side. Kings now on it. Green plays it down below the goal line. Barber gets away from Dan Foose. He'll play it back to the point for Head. Head, his wrist shot goes wide of the goal. Puck bounces off the end wall, and it'll actually come to a rest on the left side of Simon Cormier. He'll grab onto that and hang on. 15:32 to go here in period number 3.
Kings doing exactly what we just talked about, Jeff, just trying to keep pucks down low. You're really not concerned about getting any more scoring chances, although obviously if you can put a fifth one by Cormier, you're on your way to a title. But at the same time, just keeping that puck low, down low. You saw what Kerr was doing there and the others. If it ends up in an easy scoring chance, obviously you're going to take it. But just pucks in that corner makes it really hard for the Flyers to score.
There's a pass from the middle of the ice that's broken up. Peltier picks it up. He fires one off the glass, high and wide. They tried to go cross crease in their own zone on it with a pass, and it was an errant one at that. Flyers now get it out as far as the line, and Kerr wasn't able to hold it in, but he'll spin and fire it back into Flyers territory. Flyers playing it all the way down the ice is going to go down for an icing call. And that'll bring the face-off back into Flyers territory. And maybe this is where earlier on in the game where the Flyers got down 2-0, that coach Alexander Armsworthy did not call his timeout, so he still has that available to him in the latter stages of this game should they find themselves still down in the next 3 minutes and 59 seconds. Sear will kick the puck loose. Here's Pino. Pino plays it off the wall, can't get it out. However, following up is LeBlanc. He'll start out through the neutral zone. LeBlanc has to hit the brakes. He'll play it back for Dan Foose. Dan Foose up for Pino, tips it down into Kings territory. Adams, he'll play it around the far side. Clark on the far side. Can't get it out. DeVoe on the forecheck. He'll play it into the corner. He got tripped up. Collette tried to knock it down, and it went right underneath his glove, and it goes all the way back down into Flyers territory. Kings will pick it up in the neutral zone and dump it back into Flyers territory, but they're on the wrong side of the red line, and so the faceoff is going to come all the way back into Kings territory. 3:13 remaining here in period number 3. And it is a 4-3 Kings lead.
Going to be some battles here in the faceoff circle, 3 or 4 more of them probably likely. And I've touched on it a couple of times in the broadcast. It's going to be Kerr and LeBlanc. They have gone at each other a couple of times. They'll do it again here, but the Flyers are going to be thrown out. That will advantage Kerr.
So it'll be Dag coming in to take the draw for the Flyers, and the draw's won by the Flyers. Sturgeon, wrist shot right on, and that's blockered away there by Gentleman.
Good play there, too, by Gentleman, not only to get it saved, but to get it up and out and give his team another opportunity to win a faceoff. And there's that timeout that you correctly said that the Flyers were wise to take when I suggested they might. And they're going to take it here with 3:08 to go.
I'm just wondering if they're thinking at this stage they might not have another opportunity to take the timeout. And so they're calling for it now. They're probably going to send their best players out here over the next 3 minutes and 8 seconds. And eventually, if they still find themselves trailing with about a minute and a half, minute 20, and the pressure's in the Kings zone, they're going to look to get Simon Cormier to the bench. This is almost the same script as what happened when they played against each other in the round robin. The Kings were leading with going into the last minute of the game, and then there was a mad goalmouth scramble. Nathan Weber tied the game up, and eventually they won the game in a shootout. So I'm wondering if that's kind of sitting in the back of the Kings' mind as well here at this stage. They're being outshot 42-29 right now.
Yeah, there's been a lot of late comebacks in this tournament overall, and again, it's a testament to the maturity. You know, these are very good hockey players, the best around Atlantic Canada, but people forget that they're still 15 and 14 years old, and that ebb and flow will happen. Big face-off here.
Draws one there by the Kings, fired all the way down the ice, and this is going to go down for an icing call, so just a couple of seconds have ticked away.
And again, the Kings are comfortable with this, and you kind of need to be when you're a team like they are, where you always have to kind of be able to defend and then try to counterattack. So you need to be comfortable with the fact of what you can do in your own end.
Draw one by the Kings, but Weber will play it back to the point. Over onto the near side now. Daigle plays it down into the corner. Weber tried to play it back to the point, but it's picked up by the Kings. It'll be cleared out in a neutral ice, and it'll be sent down into Flyers territory there by Brown. Sturgeon. He'll play it into the corner for Daigle. Daigle up the wall. Kings will just send it back behind the Flyers' goal. 2.5 minutes to go now. Collette plays it there for Sturgeon. Sturgeon will play it back for Collette. Collette will come up onto the right side for Daigle, and Daigle couldn't handle it cleanly. He's forced all the way back into his own zone. As Willette picks it up for the Kings, pass out in front of the goal, comes all the way back to the point. There's a wrist shot from Head, goes off a leg wide of the goal, out in front of the goal, and the Flyers will clear it away. Flyers very disorganized there, trying to get out of their own zone. As there's an icing call here against the Kings now with 123 seconds to go here in period number 3.
So do you take the goalie now or no? I know they're not.
I think you move them out at least to the hash marks maybe.
Yeah.
With about but I still think it's a little bit too early to pull them at this stage. And the Flyers will get, Pino will get waved out of the face-off circle. And it'll be Colin Saunier in for the draw. Summers trying to play it down below the goal line. Saunier trying to walk out in front of the goal, hauled down, no call. 3 Kings are away. Adams gets it down into Flyers territory, but he wasn't on the right side of the red line, and so again, it's going to be another icing call. And Adams thought he got the red line there, but he was just a hair short.
Yeah, linesman was in great shape to see it. He was right in front of Ryan Adams.
Off the draw, here's Collette at the point. Far point now for Dan Fuchs. Back to Collette at the line. Collette sends it through wide of the goal. Puck doesn't bounce off the end of the wall as they thought it would. The Kings get it out as far as the line. They'll get it out in a neutral ice. Barber plays it down the ice. It's not going to be an icing call. Sturgeon bodies his man. Collette plays it up for Summers on the right side. Off the wall. Pino through the neutral zone. Cormier should be going to the bench here, or should be going anytime. No call on the trip. Here's Sturgeon. His wrist shot. Blocker save. Rebound. There they score! Jacob Pino ties the game up with 1:16 to go. And just like the script from earlier this week, Simon Cormier just barely got to the bench, and they tied the game up, and here they are. They do it again, and we are 4-4 with 1:16 to go, and the Kings are going to take themselves a 30-second timeout. Jacob Pino, Jackson Summers, and Connor Sturgeon with the assists on the game-tying goal.
Well, what drama here, what drama with that goal, and we've talked about it. There's been a ton of this in the tournament, and again, the kids are skilled enough and the hockey is exceptional, but at the same time, it's just panic can set in sometimes, right? And, you can call it that or you can call it, listen, 44 shots, they're inevitably going to kind of blast one by them, or the face-off is going to be the rebound is going to go where you want it to be. But like you said, they really didn't even benefit from the extra attacker on the ice because the goal was happening just as the attacker was getting there. But it all started with them having the advantage of play in that zone, the icing calls that happened, and you live by the sword and you die by the sword.
Exactly, and you got to give credit to the coaching staff of the Flyers calling the timeout when they did, because if they had called that timeout after getting down 2-0 early in the first, they wouldn't have had that to be able to draw this kind of sort of play up. So here we go, 1:16 to go, and it's tied up at 4. Dan Foose will dump the puck down into Kings territory. Weber on the puck. Puck loose. Here's the Flyers now. LeBlanc with a shot. Gentleman will get the glove on it. It'll come into the near point. Dan Foose plays it back behind the goal. Barber plays it to Kerr. Kerr through the neutral zone. In over the line. Kerr will send it towards Cormier. And Cormier will grab onto that and hang on. And so 51.8 seconds to go here in overtime. Or, excuse me, not overtime, period 3.
Yeah, you're thinking about it, aren't you?
I've called about 5 overtime periods, 5 overtime games this weekend. I don't think I can handle another one, but maybe we'll see. I apologize if my voice is starting to get a little scratchy here, folks. It's been a long weekend, and again, I appreciate you, Derek, for coming in and helping me out, giving me a little bit of break every so often here. As the puck gets wrapped around the wall, Adams can't keep it in at the line. Flyers looking to control the puck. Pino trying to get it there for Daigle. The Kings will come back the other way. Here's Adams. Adams trying to get around Sturgeon. Adams forced into the corner there by Sturgeon. The puck will go around the far side. Collette plays it up onto the far left wing. Here's Pino through the neutral zone. Pino gets it inside the Kings line. Only momentarily, however. 15 seconds to go. Peltier gets stood up in a near opportunity. Sturgeon, if he had just kept going, he might have had a breakaway there. Here's Kerr for Brown. Brown down the far side, down into the corner, and that's going to bring to an end regulation here at the Q-Plex. Now, I'm not sure how this plays out. If it's okay, so it will be a 2-minute break, 5-minute 4-on-4, and do they still go to the shootout in the... I thought the championship game went to overtime, but I guess we'll have to wait and see once this potential first overtime finishes.
Yeah, I think it does go just to the, judging by the fact that neither of the teams are leaving, and the officials may be getting some clarification from Hockey New Brunswick. I see Nick Jansen is the president of Hockey New Brunswick. He's in the penalty box area now, communicating with the official scorers and the referees, so they're going to get it right from the horse's mouth. But at the end of the day, the officials aren't moving anyone to their benches, so I can only assume, like you did, Jeff, is that we're going to play an overtime format.
So there we have it. So it's going to. They just made the announcement. All tournament, it's been 4-on-4, 5 minutes, and then into a shootout. But now it will be a 10-minute 5-on-5 overtime. I would assume after the first 10 minutes, if nobody scores, they'll come out and they'll flood the ice, and then they'll come back out, and it'll be a 20-minute period from there on out.
Just what your voice wanted to hear, right?
Exactly. But again, Derek, I really do appreciate you coming by and helping me out this weekend. You and I had a chance to meet a number of years ago when I was doing the radio for the Wildcats, and you were working doing radio for the Sea Dogs for a bit with Tim Roselle. And again, it took me a while to clue in who you were because it'd been a while since I seen you. But the minute I seen you and you said your name, clued in, and I really do appreciate you coming to help, offering to help me out for the last couple of games. It's certainly been fun and joyful for me to have someone else to work with here today.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed listening to you on Thursday and Friday and Saturday as well, and I wish I would have been more available to you, Jeff, but at the same time, as a guy that's done what you're doing, I know what it's like to have to call, upwards of 40 periods, 41 periods of hockey, and especially doing it on your own is difficult. My voice would not be in as good a shape as yours is right now. So you've earned the right to call an overtime final, and I hope you enjoy doing it, and we'll see whether this one goes long or short, one way or the other. The next goal wins, and we're going to have an Atlantic Championship here in a minute, folks.
Off the draw, it's Collette. He'll play the puck down into the Kings zone. Adams will chase it down in behind the goal, plays it around the wall. Weber knocks it down in the corner. Weber into the slot. LeBlanc working his way behind the goal. LeBlanc wrapping around. They score! Caleb LeBlanc wins it in overtime, and the Dieppe Flyers are the 2022 U15 AAA Major Atlantic champs. The goal just 18 seconds into overtime. A 5-4 victory for the Flyers.
Boys, Jeff, we talked a little bit in the bronze medal game about goaltenders going from post to post. We talked about it a little bit in this game as well. It was Bradley in the bronze medal game, and gentleman here had that wraparound try, and he got his left leg to the post on time, but the puck went off of his right leg, the leg that's closer to the middle, and just trickled in between his feet. It's hard, and the kids don't know it, but what a wonderful showing by this host hockey club. And they had victory and the ends of their fingertips. They just couldn't get it done and couldn't hang on long enough through that third period and gave up a heartbreaker here in overtime.
The entire coaching staff for the KV Kings have to be really proud on how this played out. They lost out in the semifinals in the provincial playdowns in Moncton going back almost 3 weeks ago now. So there had been about a 3-week gap between their last game and their first game of the tournament here. And there's some concern about a little rust, but the coaching staff did a great job of prepping these guys, being the host team, knowing they weren't going to have the greatest of the schedules going into the start of the tournament. But they managed to pull themselves together as a group, and they battled hard. Nobody expected them to make it to the championship game, and here they were. They battled hard against the Flyers in this last game. I mean, these two teams seen each other a handful of times this year. Obviously, there's a lot of respect between the two teams, and just a little dejected on how things played out for them. I don't know if they would have rather lost in regulation or lost in overtime. I know it's definitely a bummer when a team goes down in overtime in a championship game.
Yeah, I think, you probably don't know it, and maybe you don't even know it at that age kind of thing. But, you'll look back on this. You'll look back on this fondly. You got to play in your home rink in front of your parents. I know some of the, I know this 07 group because I'm an 07 dad. And, I know these parents that are over here, and I know they know that these kids won't be together anymore. Some of them go away to play in private schools. Some of them go on to U18 and U16. But this group of players, this Kings Hockey Club, they won't be together anymore. So, you know what? They probably would have rather have the extra time and the extra overtime. They would have liked it to turn out a little differently, of course. And then this Flyers club, like you say, they stayed on top of their game. They figured out how to stay competitive in the couple of weeks between the tournaments, and they've even in the third period here, they've been on the verge of losing this tournament since Friday night.
Yep.
And they figured it out on Saturday, and they figured it out today again. So credit to Alex and his coaching staff, Derek Cormier and Marty Martin. They've done a wonderful job.
So we're going to stay tuned here with the medal presentation, and we'll take a couple of minutes. We'll regroup ourselves here, and we'll have a little bit of a drink of water or two, and then we'll come back after the medal presentations to wrap things up. So here is the medal presentation of the silver medals to the Kennebecasis Valley Kings, and then we'll see the eventual gold medal presentation to the Dieppe Flyers. And with that, the medal presentations have all been done here, Derek, and it's been one dandy of a weekend of hockey here at the 2022 U15 Major AAA Hockey Championships. The Flyers coming out victorious. Really coming into this tournament, I think they were one of the favorites to win this tournament. At times it looked a little iffy for them, but then they managed to find a way to claw and scratch their way all the way back into it. And really, that's what good hockey teams do in such short weekends like this.
Well, each team writes their own story, don't they? And there's a story from 5 different teams here that all have written their own script as they've gone along this season and in this tournament. But at the same time, this Flyers Hockey Club, I got to see them all year. They were dominant in our league throughout the first part of the year. They had a little bit of a speed wobble in January and February where they lost 4 or 5 games in a row, maybe a couple more than that. But they seemed to find themselves at provincials. And then we've talked about it on the air for those that were listening to us for the entirety of our broadcast. They've been on the heels of being out of this tournament since they played their 3rd hockey game, and they figured out how to get by, and they figured out how to get into Sunday, and they figured out how to get a 1-point lead and be the home team, even though they looked like they were going to be out a couple of times. And then they figured out how to tie a game up late in a hockey game and then win it in overtime very early on. So they've had a lot of lives here, but they're a very good hockey club, and the resiliency of that hockey team to be able to keep going and keep digging deep and be able to get pucks in the net and on goal was just wonderful for them to do, and they deserve the championship. They were the better team this weekend.
And of course, they have the underdog story of the Kennebecasis Valley Kings, the host team. Again, they got knocked out early in the provincial playdowns a few weeks back, and they managed to come together as a group here to start off this weekend, and they came up just short, and really they really don't have anything to hang their heads about coming into this weekend, making it all the way to the championship final.
No, they didn't, and Luke Simpson and his staff do a wonderful job with this hockey club. Even though it was a home event for them, they've been at a hotel locally for the entire weekend as a team together, treating it like a road trip. Cell phones went away a long time ago this week for those kids, so they'll get a lot of text messages they'll have to return today. But yeah, they've played as good as I've seen them play all year. We get to see this hockey club a lot here locally, and they brought it together. Their offense looked a little more powerful this weekend. They played a lot of run and gun kind of hockey games. They got some bounces, they got some breaks. Their good players became good players. They have nothing to be shameful for. A wonderful tournament from them. Just came up a little bit short against a better hockey club.
Well, Derek, I want to take an opportunity again to thank you for coming in and helping me here on this Sunday. It was a little bit of a relief when you offered to help me out, and I really do appreciate you stepping in. It certainly was a pleasure working with you, and hopefully we can collaborate on some projects further down the road.
Yeah, I'd love that for sure, Jeff. You do a great job. I always know you did. It's been a long time. We've been too long not hearing your voice, so it's been nice to have the opportunity to listen to you since Thursday of this week. And it was fun to be a part of the ride here today.
All right, well, thanks very much for that, Derek. Really appreciate it. So on behalf of Brian Fisher, our cameraman, and Derek Cooling, I'm Jeff Robichaux, reminding you again, the final score, 5-4 overtime win for the Dieppe Flyers, the New Brunswick provincial representatives here at the 2022 U15 Major AAA Hockey Championships. They are the Atlantic champs. And again, we thank you for watching all weekend long here on AOTV. Good night from Quispam Sis.